We are live for the MLS versus Liga MX All-Star game, which starts in, sadly, 38 minutes. It was supposed to start at 9:10, but, MLS is always fashionably late. They can never start a game on time, even in an exhibition match. So we still have 37 minutes until kickoff. We have, I guess, somewhat interesting game. A lot of you guys wanted to do a live stream watch along. We'll see what happens. This is supposed to be fun. It doesn't really mean anything. Win or lose, MLS versus Liga MX. It's supposed to be a fun game just to kind of compare the best players in each league, but it really doesn't tell us anything. So it should be interesting tonight. We'll see who wins. I don't really know what to make of this. Obviously, a lot of people were upset that Messi's not going to be playing in this game. Saw a lot of people tweeting about that they were disappointed or that he's going to be suspended, all these different things. And we have Fabian on the back channel right now. He's going to hop on here in just a second and kind of tell us what he thinks. But me personally, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's an exhibition match. He's 38 years old. He's played several matches this summer. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I never expected him to play in this game, to be honest with you. So, I mean, what else could you really expect? Jordi Alba obviously is not going to play either. And a lot of people got upset with this. They say Messi supposedly is going to have a one-game suspension, but I don't think that's going to actually happen. We'll go ahead and bring in Fabian here. Let him talk about this. Fabi, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for having me on. Busy day in my neck of the woods. A couple of things. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming, right? I don't think anybody expected Messi to play in this All-Star game besides the fans that bought tickets and went there. This is why I already knew going into this that, it's not looking very likely that as the days pass by and Messi's not showing up to training. Messi's not, at least showing that he has some intent of going. He's not promoting the league. But in all honesty, I think this is a missed opportunity for Messi, and I think it's a missed opportunity for the league. Yes, Messi doesn't need MLS. Yes, Messi doesn't need MLS fans. But personally, he has a stake in Apple TV deals. Like, we know that Messi's contract does gain more money with more Apple TV memberships. And I don't know. In my opinion, just to me, it feels like Messi's leaving money on the table, and MLS is leaving money on the table. I know Sergio Ramos didn't want to play in this game, and Liga MX stepped in and paid him, handsomely to come and play this match. But we haven't heard about James Rodriguez. I think he's injured and he's not going to play in this game. So personally, I think it's something that it's a missed opportunity. I was really hoping MLS, didn't put him on any of the signage, because at the end of the day, I feel bad for all the fans that, spent their hard-earned money, and I feel bad for all the fans that, flew into Austin. I even feel bad for all the media companies sending people out there thinking Messi was going to be there. Undoubtedly so, maybe a little less than the fans, but to me, it just seems like it was a missed opportunity for both parties. I know Messi doesn't need MLS fans, and I know Messi doesn't really possibly care about MLS fans outside of his bubble already. But hey, it's another opportunity to grow your legacy. It's not really going to affect anything, but who knows? Maybe a casual, was watching the All-Star game and maybe now he becomes an Inter Miami fan, but that's not the case today because there's no Inter Miami fans at all, or players at all. So personally, Don Garber came on with a State of the Union, basically a press conference saying that Messi's played a lot of games. He's played 90 minutes in those games. It wasn't really expected for him to be participating in this game, which sucks for all the fans. Again, the fans get the end of the stick of this. What if there was Messi fans that wanted to see him in Austin, right? Another thing that he said was, this league isn't the same because of Messi. So he still understands how important Messi is to this league. But he also said there is rules. So we don't know yet if Messi is going to be suspended. It could be that he gets suspended one game like Zlatan. But it's just unfortunate. I mean, I'm not even mad that he's not going to play. I could have, he could have played 5 minutes, right? Like this is an exhibition. He could have played a minute, like got a send off within that 1 minute. He could have just came and waved, right? People would have loved that, So it just seems more and more that Messi is not here for that. He's more here for himself, and it's just more and more obvious, which is fine, which is totally fine, because we rather have some Messi than no Messi.
Okay, let's get the chat involved, and then I'll give my feedback on that. Chat, are you, yes or no, are you disappointed that Messi is not playing in this game and did not travel to Austin for this game? Yes or no? Disappointed, yes. Not disappointed, no. Like I said, I never expected him to play in this game. He's 38 years old. They played a lot of games this summer. I mean, they played 4 matches in the Club World Cup. They played, what has he played, like 5 or 6 matches in a row in MLS where he's played 90 minutes or more. He's played a lot of games this summer, man. Like, I think they played 13 matches since June 1st, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was mid to late May. I never expected him to play in this game. That's the reason he didn't play last year too, right? He was injured or he was tired, workload.
But he was on a boat with an ankle problem.
Yeah, but I just never expected him to play in this match. I mean, the big names normally don't play in this game. It's normally, and when I say big names, I'm not saying like no good players play. I'm just saying that when you're at a certain status level like Messi or Zlatan or, like that, they normally don't play in the All-Star games. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be totally wrong. Now, I'm not saying that this guy is at the same status as the people I just named, but did Robbie Keane ever play in an All-Star game?
Ooh.
I don't think he did. And he was the best player in the league for several years. I don't think Robbie Keane I don't think he ever played in an All-Star game. I think they always sat him out. Because when you're at a certain age, obviously this is like a miniature break. Inter Miami have a game on Saturday against Cincinnati. They don't want Messi to play 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes. They don't want him to play a single minute. They want him to be in Miami resting for this big game that could potentially put them in contention to be the first place team in the Eastern Conference. Real quick, let me just read some of these comments, some of the responses. Also, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're 70 subscribers away from 8,000, 8 days to hit it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit the little bell notification. Let's get 100 likes on this stream. Let's see. Pluto says, no, need to risk pointless, meaningless injury with World Cup in just 1 year. Let's see. Uwe says, I feel indifferent, to be honest. The risk for injury would suck. Michael Pelly says it's Messi and Alba's choice to miss, but MLS needs to gold them to 1 game suspension. I think he meant hold them.
Or scold.
Therefore, I'm sorry.
Or scold. Maybe scold.
Scold. Yeah, scold or hold them accountable, essentially. Therefore, the resting argument is moot. Uwe says, nah. Jamie says, I always knew Messi wouldn't be there. Nick says no, All-Star games are dumb to begin with. And let's see, Lapu says no, we see him every week. Labumio says no. IG says stop making excuses for Messi. Mr. Good friend of the show and member of the channel says no, I also didn't expect him to be there. I mean, so we got a lot of people saying no, that they didn't expect him and they're not disappointed that he's not here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And that's totally fair. I mean, I even myself thought he wasn't gonna be there. But it's just unfortunate. It's a sellout. I mean, it could be a great opportunity to help grow the league, but he didn't. I mean, he played a lot of games. So I'll give him that.
Did you see what dude Speed is wearing? Was Speed wearing a Messi shirt? Are you watching the game right now, or is that a Pele shirt? I can't tell. I can't. It's just a number 10. Maybe it's a Pele shirt. I'm not sure. But here's the thing. I Show Speed has absolutely no idea who Kalen Kyle and Sasha Kleshin is. He has no idea who these people are at all. Zero knowledge. It's just so funny. Okay, it is a Pele shirt. Okay, so it's a little bit of a dig maybe at Messi. At least he didn't wear a Portugal or a Al Nassr Ronaldo kit to the game.
I mean,
But
that's a little dig to MLS, right? Because Pele played for the NASL.
yeah, well, I mean, I guess so. I mean, the league's not, at least it's not Ronaldo. Okay, he just did the Ronaldo celebration. Was it the Sayu? That's how you say it?
See.
Sayu, yep. So anyway, what does Uwe say? He says, "Nah, it's a Donovan one." Oh, Landon Donovan. I don't think it is. But yeah, listen, I didn't expect him to be at this game. This game doesn't mean anything. And I saw. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you were saying about LeBron James?
Oh, I was saying, imagine the uproar if LeBron James missed an All-Star, which he did, and he didn't hear the end of it from the media at ESPN. I think a superstar, if the superstar plays in the league, they should be at the All-Star game. I mean, yes, if he's injured, totally. My whole thing is there should have been a little more transparency. And Don Garber just said, yeah, he wished he would have known earlier, and we should have told everybody earlier. And I'm happy with that. You know, like they're both to blame on this, and it's just my problem is the people that paid, right? My problem is the people that spend their hard-earned money. He should have never been used in the signage, personally.
Okay, so you're getting killed a little bit. I'm going to give you a chance to defend yourself. I'm not going to pile on. Okay. First, William Merritt says, "Good evening, Will, and everybody. Appreciate you stopping by, William." Soccer Daddy says, "Fabian, you was terrible today on Twitter." He said, You was terrible."
Hey, I mean, someone's got to say it, right? Someone has to be. I mean, people were saying I'm so pro Messi, and then the one time he does something that I don't agree with, I went against it, right? So I apologize for that today, guys, because I do have to toe a line, right? And I am always MLS first, just like Will. You know, I want this league to grow. I want this league to grow at any possibility, right? And I feel like Messi not being a part of the All-Star game or even a skills challenge, that'd be awesome one day, you know. Messi and a part of a skills challenge is a missed opportunity for the league to grow. And it's just piling on, you know, all these opportunities that MLS is missing. And is Messi, you know, his impact, has it been good? You know, has his impact been enough to grow MLS? And this is just showing us that it hasn't, you know, like, yes, there is metrics to support that Messi has grown MLS, and I'll give you that. But I feel like, you know, soccer should be somewhat in the mainstream when they have the best player in the world. And Messi doesn't help that case if he's not playing in the All-Star game. You know, it just, you know, some people have their opinions about All-Star games. I have mine. You know, I think the WNBA, I believe, got like 2.5 million views for their All-Star game. You know, there's no reason why we shouldn't be putting up those numbers for an All-Star game, right? But it's just unfortunate, you know, like you want your best player to showcase the league. Liga MX got the job done with Sergio Ramos being included, you know.
Yeah, but come on, that's, you know, I mean, we're talking about they're in different stratospheres. Like, they're not even comparable, in my opinion. Like, if we're talking about like this, you know, stardom, notoriety. I know you only have like maybe 5 to 10 minutes left, so I want to ask you a pointed question real quick. Two questions. This is the last messy question, okay? If I'm not mistaken, and I want the chat to chime in on this, at one point today, if I'm not mistaken, you said Messi not playing in this game was going to affect his MLS legacy.
No, I didn't say that.
Are you sure you didn't say that?
Bring up the receipts, because I didn't say that.
You said something along the lines of how it's going to negatively impact his time in Major League Soccer not playing in this game. Maybe I got the wording wrong, but you said something about this is going to negatively affect his time in Major League Soccer.
No, I said he's quickly becoming the villain to neutral MLS fans.
Okay, well, he's already been the villain of neutral MLS fans.
Right. And so that's not really a new thing, right?
Isn't that a good thing, though?
I agree. But no, I never said it would affect his legacy. Come on now.
Dude, everybody, listen. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say, like, if an exhibition game is affecting his legacy, then we got to have a different discussion here, right? Like, that would be absolutely crazy. Dude, you're getting called the villain, dude. You're the villain.
Hey, check your stat guide. Check whoever checks receipts, dog, because what did I miss, dog?
What did I miss? No, but okay, because if you said that, I was gonna say, all right, now that's crazy. That's crazy.
If I said that, I needed to be grilled by this chat, you know, but I for sure just said he was becoming the MLS neutral villain, which he already was, in my opinion.
He is, of course. People don't like they're not going to support a guy who doesn't play for their team.
and they're not going to support a guy who doesn't, want to do more for the league, right? So it's like a double whammy.
Yeah. Okay. Before I let you go, let's move on to more of a different note than Messi, right? So obviously, Liga MX is playing MLS All-Stars. Both the best players from both leagues, for the most part. There's not going to be every single best player playing league. Obviously, there's a couple MLS guys that aren't here. There's probably a couple Liga MX guys that aren't here. Who do you think is going to shine tonight? Who's an MLS player you think could maybe look pretty good? I got one in mind. I want to see what you think.
Yeah, look, I think everyone's hoping for the MLS, All-Star captain to go off today. Evander should shine tonight. It's the third year consecutively that Cincy's had a captain, have the MLS All-Star captain with Lucho Costa and then now Evander. So it's something, that is almost written in the stars, right? Evander, helped out MLS last night in the skills challenge, and he's going to ball out today. So hopefully he puts on a show and he shows that he is the best player outside of Lionel Messi. And today's a great opportunity to do so.
Yeah, I think Evander's the best player in both teams tonight. Like, I think he's the best player for either side. I think he's really good. I think he's been the MVP of the league outside of Messi, which he's not going to win that race just because of, name recognition. Obviously, the league's going to lean towards Messi. There's a bias, if we're being honest, right? And it's justified. Obviously, Messi's been really good, so he deserves to be MVP. But oh, great, we got our two favorite announcers tonight. Anyway, so I think that Evander's probably going to shine the most. I think he's going to be, he was brilliant last night in the skills challenge, whatever that means, right? That was just kind of, the skills challenge to me is just a little corny. I don't know how you feel about it. I just think it's kind of goofy. It's okay, but it's just like, it's more for like kids.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that's why they brought in Speed, right? You saw the kids in the audience with Portugal 7 jerseys, like with Ronaldo not even stepping foot in any MLS kind of team, right? So, no, 100%. That's for the kids, and it's for the clips. It's for the social media. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they got the biggest name to possibly do it in iShow Speed. He has a huge following, whether you like him or not. I don't watch his stuff. Obviously, he's more, his audience is more of younger people. I'm not that I'm old, like, he's kids, right? But right. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to try to get some new fans and bridge the gap between young soccer fans that want to support MLS versus other leagues around the world. So they're doing that. I don't know how much it's going to impact it, because outside of seeing him on here, have you seen him promoting this on his personal page or anything like that?
Speed?
Yes.
Well, Speed took a 2-week break of streaming. So if you wanted to stream content at this time, it would have to be about him at the All-Star game. So maybe it's perfect timing for MLS, or maybe they paid him to not be streaming right now. Well, they obviously paid him to make an appearance, but yeah. If you want to pay
you,
sorry,
they didn't pay you.
No, they didn't pay me.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this. It's not gonna affect Messi's legacy. I'm saying he's becoming the villain because he doesn't want to do anything but help Inter Miami win, which he's totally allowed to do. But to win over the MLS neutral, you have to do a little bit more.
Well, and to the Speed thing real quick. Yes, obviously he's not going to he's not going to stream or whatever during this, but like, he should be posting about this on his Twitter page, his Instagram, just promoting it. Because how is anyone going to know he's on here outside of if you're already following MLS? If you're paying for his audience, you need him to promote it.
Let me take a look at his Instagram real quick. No, he's not promoting it at all.
He hasn't posted anything on Twitter yet, or anything on Twitter either. Nothing.
On Instagram, he just posted himself in a cowboy suit.
Yeah.
So nothing.
So it feels like it's wasted money, because if no one knows he's doing it, then how are you getting the benefit of it?
I think it is on, like, let's say on OneFootball and Bleacher Report and all those. If you're a soccer fan, you're already seeing it. Actually, Speed yesterday, when he was getting interviewed by Apple TV in Espanol, he said the team that he would play for is FC Cincinnati. So, hey, take that as you want. He definitely knows there's a team in his hometown.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But I don't think that was ever a question. Favi, I appreciate it, my friend. Oh, before I go, who's winning tonight? Or before you go?
You know what? I want to say MLS All-Stars. I think they have a chip on their shoulder with Messi not showing up, and I think they want a little bit more. Maybe Liga MX takes it a little lighter because he's not there, right? So maybe MLS All-Stars, they get a chance tonight.
Who won last year? Liga MX, right?
Liga MX this
was like 4-0.
destroyed MLS.
It's like 4-0, right?
Yeah, like 5-2 or something like that.
Oh,
Bernadeschi
okay.
was the best player, I think, for MLS.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up after this. Favi, before I let you go, where can the people follow you at?
Yeah,
all your crazy takes.
You can follow me at Fabian Rankle. I promised that I didn't say that about Messi's legacy because that's totally not true. But he could be an MLS villain, but that's a good thing for MLS. So I'm always MLS first. You can find me at Fabian Rankle and Urban Pitch. I have a Roman Berkey exclusive coming out tomorrow. So if you guys want to check that out, you totally can too.
Appreciate it, my friend. Hope you have a great night. Enjoy your dinner. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
30 years old. You getting old?
Yeah.
Maybe the takes will get crazier as you get older too.
I'm like a crazy old man now, you know?
You are, man. You're old. You're halfway there, halfway to death. Well, I appreciate it, my friend. You have a good night.
You too, man. Thank you for having me on, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. All right, guys. That was Fabian Rankle. Obviously, he has some questionable takes with the Messi thing, but, maybe he didn't say as crazy of things as I originally had thought he had. But, hey, always a good time to talk to my friend Favi. Now, moving on to this game, yes, Liga MX did win this match 4-1 last year. It was pretty bad, honestly. It's kind of a blowout. What is your score prediction tonight? Who wins tonight? MLS versus Liga MX. Who do you have? And what is your score prediction? Let me know down below. Is it going to be close? Is it going to be a blowout again? MLS won the first two iterations of this. I want to say, okay, so in 2021 was the first year that we did this. MLS won in PKs, or penalties, excuse me. They won in penalties 3-2. And then in the second year that this happened, we won 2-1. And then in 2023, we played Arsenal and we lost 5-0. We got absolutely embarrassed, which is another reason why I'm anti MLS All-Star game, because it really doesn't do anything. We'll talk about that in a second. I do want to expand on that. But in 2024, they just absolutely beat us down. So I don't really know. I think this is going to be a close game. Let's see. Pumas fan, the biggest Liga MX MLS moves fan that there is, says that he thinks Liga MX are going to win 4-0. Let's see. Miami King says 3-1 Liga MX. Butterdog says Liga MX 3-1. Nick Smith says 3-2 Liga MX. Alan says, hate to say it, Liga MX 2, MLS 1. Honestly, I don't know why, but I think top to bottom, they have a bit more talent than MLS does. Well, also, too, the attacking talent is pretty even, but the defending talent is not close. I think that Liga MX definitely has better defenders than Major League Soccer. Let's see. Rocky says he's 3-0 Liga MX. Soccer Daddy says MLS losing big. Uwe says 3-1 Liga MX. Shyon says, I saw MLS moves, wins it. Saw MLS moves, wins it. I think it's going to be 2-2 and Liga MX wins on penalties. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be 2-2. Liga MX wins on penalties. And I think it's going to be an entertaining game. Mr. Krabs says, James Rodriguez isn't playing in this All-Star game. Is he getting suspended in Liga MX? I don't know if he is. Maybe he is. Maybe he's injured. He's always injured, right? He probably got like an injury waiver or whatever. Okay, so let's talk about the All-Star game because I want to get your guys' feedback on this. You guys wanted to do this. It's fun to talk to you guys. It's fun to obviously watch the game with you. It's an exhibition match. Like I said, it doesn't matter if they win or lose either side. But how do you guys feel about the All-Star game? Now, the All-Star game is very popular, obviously, in American culture, MLB, NBA, NFL. But when you think about it, MLS is kind of in a unique situation because the best league in the world is not Major League Soccer. So playing the All-Stars versus All-Stars, which is normally East versus West, doesn't really do anything in MLS, and it doesn't really have any meaning, right? So the format has always normally been MLS All-Stars will play a European giant, right? And a lot of times the games are pretty competitive. Like they would sometimes win. Now, I don't know necessarily if it was the European club's A team or their best starting 11, but they played some pretty good games and had some decent wins over the years. I think about against Chelsea in 2012, they got absolutely boat raced by AS Roma in 2013. 2014, they beat Bayern Munich. 2015, I think they beat Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, though, it doesn't really look good for the league. It's kind of like a lose-lose situation, right? Because essentially what you're saying is it takes our entire league of best players to be able to beat a European giant, right? Takes the whole entire league's best players. But on the flip side, if you lose, then one team in one league beat your your strongest assembled team of players from the entire league. When Arsenal beat MLS All-Stars 5-0 in 2023, that looked really bad. And I think that that's why they stopped doing the European Giants versus the MLS All-Stars. I mean, it was kind of dated and it really didn't help the league. By the way, I think we're about to start the game finally. Maybe. Looks like some people are coming out. The game is delayed. It was supposed to start at like 9 o'clock, and then it said it was going to start at 9:10, and then it got delayed to 9:30. So I don't really know what's going on, but the game, I think, is finally about to start, which is crazy that it took this long. Absolutely insane. MLS never on time. But I think that this game is dated. I really wish they'd get rid of it, but I think it's in the Apple TV deal where Liga MX and MLS have to do Leagues Cup, and they also have to do this All-Star game. Maybe not every year this game, but they have to do it pretty often, like maybe every other year, or they can choose to do it every year if they want. Francisco says in the 70s and the 80s, there used to be an all-star games in Europe and South America, but they were friendlies played in the offseason. I remember various games of Europe versus South America, purely entertainment. Alan says, I think it's dumb. I don't really see the point of the All-Star game. Completely agree with you. We could really do without it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't serve any purpose. Maybe a cool thing you could do, at least if you did East and West, you could do something like the MLB does, where the NL and the AL play, and the winner gets the home field advantage for the championship, like the World Series. That way, you know, that would make sense of kind of giving this game some purpose. But even then, I don't really think that's fair either. Mr. says, personally, I'm not a massive fan of the All-Star games, but it's an American league. Like you said, it's an American cultural thing. Yeah, it is. And I do think it was cool. Like I said, I think it was cool at one time because you got to see some players in Major League Soccer who were undervalued play some big teams from Europe and kind of prove themselves, right? I remember in 2012 when Wondolowski scored the I think it was the game winner against John Terry, the Chelsea match. It was at Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, because the stadium was relatively new. That was kind of cool. And like there was a lot of players that people didn't know about, but the league was in a different spot at that time. Like if you want to be taken seriously, you have to play. You can't play games like this that kind of devalues your whole league. Like I said earlier, you're essentially saying that, hey, it takes our entire league of best players to beat one club, or on the flip side, an entire team of our best players just lost to one club. It's honestly a lose-lose situation. Mr. Spider Pig says Evander is 20 years younger than Messi. He's actually 11 years younger than Messi. He's 27 years old. Uwe says, or MLS Americas versus MLS Europeans. That would be somewhat interesting, but that would probably, I don't know. That might be interesting. That might be an interesting one to do. Let's see. Pinozilla says this Liga MX side looks weak. MLS is winning. We'll see. Cosmic Jojo says this should be a preseason thing or a postseason thing like the Pro Bowl. Yeah, it is kind of weird to do it in the middle of the season, but that's what outside of the NFL, most of them do it during the regular season. It's kind of like an excuse to have a break. It's an excuse to have a break. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream down below. We're at 28 likes. Let's try to get to 100. There's 60 of you in the chat right now. Smash the like button if you haven't already. The game is about to kick off. We're going to have a good time tonight. We'll see who wins. We're also 69 subscribers away from hitting 8,000. Our goal is to hit that by the end of July. We have 8 days left to do that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Have a video coming out tomorrow about Sun coming to LAFC. And then I'm going to have a video coming out Sunday about the league calendar. This will probably be the last video I make about the league calendar, but I just want to talk about it because it was a hot topic today. A lot of controversy, a lot of people disagreeing with it, but I got a friend that's going to come on. And we're going to talk about it a little bit. and just kind of get their thoughts on it, see what they think. But so there's some content coming out, and then Leagues Cup starts next week. And I will be doing some live streams, watch alongs for the Leagues Cup matches, because it's I think it's actually going to be somewhat interesting this year. You got Rodrigo de Paul, you possibly have Sun coming. There are so many unknowns. And I also think because it's 18 versus 18 this time, rather than the traditional 30 MLS teams versus 18 Liga MX teams, that Liga MX has a real chance of winning it this year. I actually think, and I'll do a prediction video, but I actually think Liga MX is going to win Leagues Cup this year. I think they're going to. Mr. Krabs says, I remember Man City versus LA Galaxy. Mario Balotelli did some skill, failed, and got subbed out. Yeah, I can't remember what the shot he took was that he just like missed so badly, and it was cost him the game, I think. Rocky says, weird to do right before Leagues Cup. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make this like the grand entrance for the game. By the way, we're doing the walkouts too, like we did in the Club World Cup. I think that's very lame. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I just think that's very, very lame. I'm not a big fan of the intros and the walking out. Especially when you have 11 players. Butterdog says, I didn't even know this friendly was happening until I saw reports that Messi wasn't going to play. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that the headline was bigger today about Messi not playing than what he's actually missing, what he's not playing in. Like, that was a bigger deal than the actual game he was playing in. Uwe says, thoughts on Sargent rejecting Wolfsburg? Yeah, my friend Bolivian Yank talked about this because Josh Sargent wants to play in the Premier League. And I think that there's an issue with Americans, a lot of us, to where we have an ego where we really want to play in the Premier League because it is the best league. But it might not necessarily be the best situation for you. I think that his is more of an ego thing where he wants to play in the Premier League. He wants to prove himself. He wants to stay in England. But I think it's a huge mistake that he's not going to Wolfsburg. I think it's a huge, huge mistake. Huge mistake. Let's see. B says, do you think Messi will get suspended for one game? If it happens, the whole 1 week will be in downfall. Nobody will talk about MLS then. No, I don't think Messi's going to get suspended. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to play Saturday against Cincinnati. Francisco says, Messi and Alba are injured. People, don't worry. Brad says, no, this All-Star game is corny as hell. I've changed my mind. Messi doesn't have to show up for this. No, I mean, it is kind of corny. It is. Like, that's what I felt like that last night when I tried to watch some of the skill challenge. I watched a little bit of it, but then I was just like, dude, this is just so corny. So corny. Like, it just felt like, I don't know. It was cringe. Like, that's a better word. It was very cringe. Alan Wiley says Leagues Cup is such a complete joke. I think Liga MX wins it now. That's actually fair as far as numbers of teams that are concerned. Yeah, I actually, you know what? I actually wouldn't be mad if Liga MX did win it, because then that would kind of give it some legitimacy. And I think that I really think that Liga MX is going to win Leagues Cup this year. I actually believe they're going to. I think they're going to. I don't know who's going to win it for them, but I just have a feeling that they're going to win it this year. Oh my God! Please tell me they're not going to announce every single player on the team, right? They're not going to announce all 25, 26 people. I mean, this game is already 30 minutes late. Judgmental Deity says Sargent is as delusional as Bambi on ice. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah. Mr. says Balotelli tried backhilling it. Mancini went nuts and sold him not long after. Yeah, I remember. Like, wasn't he like he did a backhill shot attempt and it like went wide, and it was so low, like it didn't have any speed on it or anything. It was very bizarre, right? Uwe says Bundesliga would be a good stepping stone before returning to the Premier League. I agree. I think he made a horrible mistake not going to Wolfsburg. I think he should have went there. Vinyl says Well, Josh Sargent better get the hell out of Norwich if he wants to do that. I agree. I think he needs to challenge himself. I mean, the championship, it can only help you grow so much before you need to go get a new challenge. And I thought the Bundesliga would have been a good spot for him. Wolfsburg. I thought he could have thrived there, growed there, really test to see if he is that guy. But he wants to go to the Premier League. But who is going to pay 20 million, maybe it's 25 million euros for Josh Sargent? I don't see who's going to do that. I tell you what, they are dropping the ball in this All-Star game. Like, it is taking way too long to start. We've been on stream for almost 40 minutes and the game still hasn't started. It's taking way too long to start. Francisco says League's Cup is CONCACAF's Super League. Maybe. I mean, well, it's like the tournament, obviously. Alan Wiley says we need League's Cup games in Mexico if it's ever going to be taken seriously. Hey, listen, I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I think it'd be a good change of scenery. They think people won't show up to it if it's not here, though. But I mean, I would just love to see what would happen. Tyler Globe says, "Who is the Mama Duke making us look terrible?" I'm not sure. B says MLS All-Star Skills Challenge was so boring. Not gonna lie. I mean, it was just very cringe. It's very cheesy. I couldn't watch it honestly. I just think like I mean it's more for kids obviously, but I don't know. I thought it was very cringe. Nick Smith says this is embarrassing for MLS. There were more people on the field than in the stands at the skills challenge last night. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like I just think making this like a 2 or 3 day spectacle just is not good. They're introducing so many people that a lot of folks have no idea who they are. Exactly. Alan Wiley says, I feel like the Bundesliga would have been a big step up, not too big. It's the step that you really need to make if you want to make it into the world elite. I agree with that. Lozano, an all-star. He is. But let's be honest. Even if Chucky Lozano wasn't having a good season, he was going to be here because of who they're playing. They want to try to sell tickets. Mister says Sargent should have gone to Wolfsburg. Reyna's at least found his new club. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that would have served him better. He would have played. I think it would have been obviously it's a step up against the instead of the championship. And it's a shame that he didn't take that move. We'll see what he does instead. No Name says, here at 3 a.m., watching your stream and drinking a bottle of wine. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate it. I'm sorry the game has taken so long to start, right? Wednesday night, 9:30 on the East Coast, 3 a.m. In England, if I'm not mistaken, is where you're from. I could be wrong about that. I appreciate, apologies if I got that wrong. LePlou says All-Star game next year, Messi, DePaul, and Son. Maybe. We'll see. I doubt. I mean, I personally don't think Messi is ever going to play in a I don't think he's ever gonna play in All-Star game. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Where is Reyna's new club? I mean, all reports are leading to him going to Parma. All reports are leading to him going to Parma. Switzerland, that's right. My bad, No Name. No problem. I had my last day of work yesterday, so it's all chill. Watching from Switzerland, man, I appreciate it. That is awesome. Mr. Krabs says Messi should never play in this unless All-Star game was in Miami. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but I mean, you think maybe they do well, I guess they're doing it in Charlotte next year, so they're not gonna do it in Miami, but that would have been cool if they'd done the All-Star game in Miami Stadium. in 2026, but obviously not doing it now. My mic is bad right now? Is it better now? Let me know if it's good. Yeah, I think it might have been messed up a little bit because I had the volume on for the All-Star game maybe a little bit. If it messes up again, just let me know. I just had the volume on a little bit just so I could hear what was going on. Maybe that was interfering with the quality. We're 40 minutes past kickoff. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Yeah, right? I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I mean, my apologies to you guys. I never would have started the stream, 42 minutes ago if I knew that this thing was gonna be starting at almost 10 o'clock at night Eastern time. I mean, it's absolutely insane that this game has not started yet. They're still warming up. They're still warming up. What have they been doing the last hour? I mean, Jesus. Like, what are we doing? Alan Wiley says, completely off topic, but I feel like after the Club World Cup, I feel like the two top teams in Brazil's league could actually win European leagues like the Portuguese league or their Eredivisie. Yeah, no, I think they could for sure. I think that both of those leagues are actually I think the Brazilian league is better than the Eredivisie, it's better than the Portuguese league, it's better than the Turkish league, better than the French league, in my opinion. I think it's the 3rd biggest league in the world. Or no, the 3rd, what am I saying? 3rd, 5th biggest league in the world. I would say it's the 5th most, uh 5th best quality league in the world, the Brazilian league. No, they still haven't started. Listen, we're 43 minutes in. They're just now taking the pitch. I mean, this is crazy. Nick Smith says, appreciate these watch alongs. I have no one else that cares to watch soccer with me. No, I appreciate you guys watching it with me as well. It's always fun to watch it with some friends and talk about what's going on, see what happens, and um, just kind of enjoy the game or, enjoy it or be sad together, right? By the way, I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save this because I'm going to drop a video about it tomorrow. But what do you guys think about Sun coming to LAFC? Do you think that's a big deal? I mean, I know it's a big deal, but like, how big of a deal do you guys think that is? He might be the best Asian player of all time. He obviously has a huge following, and him being an LAFC is a big deal in my opinion. Um, because it's obviously close. It's the closest outside of Hawaii. It's the closest American state to Korea. So he's on the West Coast. He's on a big club, and I mean, I think that would be a really, really big deal. Who've a huge coming from an LA Galaxy fan. I mean, I think it'd be great for Major League Soccer. How is this game not started yet? I just can't believe. I mean, listen, no disrespect, but like it's just crazy. Are they doing okay? I can't hear the volume. Are they doing like a not a memorial, but maybe like a pay respects to the floods, which is cool. Like no big that's not a obviously that's okay, but like dang, like why didn't we do this earlier? think we're about to finally kick off here. Maybe. We'll see. I've lost hope at this point. Do we know for sure they're even going to play tonight? Do we know this for sure? Did we get scammed? Let's see. Hold on one sec. They're getting absolutely cooked on Twitter. Everybody's just absolutely grilling them right now. Y'all, I'm just here for some soccer, right? Dude, 45 minutes late. 45 minutes late. I mean, we have been in stream for almost 47 minutes, and we still haven't seen the ball kicked. Mister says, Son isn't at his peak anymore, but he's still a very useful player. Yeah, I think that I think Son would be very good for the LA market, obviously. And I think that he would by the way, was that the worst pregame of all time? I'm surprised people didn't leave the Q2 stadium after watching that, honestly. All right, finally kicking off here. Maybe. All right, finally kicked off. Liga MX versus MLS All-Star game is officially underway. Finally. Here we go, right? Uwe says, I'm about to leave and I'm not even there, right? I mean, come on, right? Nick Smith says, after all the complaining about Messi not going, watch someone get injured. Denis says, big Chivas fan, love the Chivas. Yeah, well, I appreciate you for stopping by. Even though this is, hey, listen, we're just having fun tonight. I'm not taking it that serious, one way or the other. I'm not taking it that serious. I just hope it's an entertaining match. Xavier says, who's here mainly to talk badly about Don Garber? I mean, we're all talking bad about Don Garber, if we're being honest. We're all here to talk bad about Don Garber. You know, he's absolutely done nothing. You know how I feel about Don Garber. He's held us back at least the last couple of years from really taking off to where we could be. And honestly, some people might think that he's had a negative impact on Liga MX. A lot of people believe he convinced them, Liga MX that is, to get rid of promotion relegation. A lot of people believe that he's the reason why Liga MX got rid of promotion and relegation. That it was a bad business model. And some people believe, now, I mean, listen, I'm not going to pretend to, I think that this might be true, but a lot of people believe the reason why Liga MX has declined the last couple of years is because they got rid of Pro Rel. All right, we got a good friend of mine, Shyon, from Rave Green TV. How we doing, my friend?
Hello, Mr. William. MLS Moves William, sir.
How's it going?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I could compete after Favi's guest appearance. That shit was incredible.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about this hour delay, terrible pregame show?
You know, I mean, what did we expect? Like, I don't know. I feel like MLS All-Star games have like fallen off the last couple of years. I was listening to your to the stream when you first started, when I just got home, just kind of hear what was going down and what you guys were talking about. And like, me personally, I used to love the All-Star game. Like, I think about 2012 when we played Chelsea. What was it? 2014 when we played Bayern Munich. when we played Tottenham, and what was it, 2016? Like
2015,
I used to love watching the All-Stars win those games. Like I was so invested in it. Like I used to love watching those games. But I really wasn't a big fan when we switched to, I obviously as well, I want to preface this, I didn't watch when it used to be East versus West, and nor do I watch any other American sport. I like the All-Star game a lot. I like when we play the European team. Yeah, it was unfortunate you got like booty tickled by Arsenal, but I liked it a lot. Like I was so invested in it when we had those type of games. And like I think Donovan talked about it too, actually in one of his recent podcast clips, about how like only reason David Moyes signed him at Everton was because when he saw the All-Star game, he saw how much he was hustling and how much effort he put into it. And he's like, if he's going to put that much effort in this type of game, I can't imagine the amount of effort he would put in if he played for me on my team. So I liked it a lot. I'm not the biggest fan of the Liga MX versus MLS All-Stars because we already see this like shoehorn, forced fed USA versus Mexico games all the time outside of Gold Cups and Nations Leagues and whatnot. I don't know. I like it when they play the European team personally. Like even when they play Chelsea, and ironically I'm wearing the Chelsea shirt just because, but this is the color we wear for our team, is blue, and so it's easier for me to just wear one of these jerseys. I wanted the All-Stars to win that game. That's how invested I was. Like I remember Wando scored, Pontius scored, and then Eddie Johnson scored that fluky deflected goal to win it for them in the 90th minute. But I was so into it. But now I was at last year's. I don't know, man. I'm just not that into it anymore personally.
Well, I don't know how much of the early show you caught, but I told everyone that, you know, in years past, it was cool because it kind of gave these MLS players who maybe are underrated a chance to showcase their talents against a very good team. And like you said about Donovan being able to prove himself against a team that is very good quality, but it's honestly a lose-lose now because if you beat a European giant, then it's like, okay, it took your whole league to beat them. Like, all right, that's cool. And if you lose to them, it's like, hey, your best players in the entire league lost to one team.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't at this point, it really doesn't help Major League Soccer to play a big team. It does. It's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
And then this right here is okay, but it's like, we've already seen it 3 other times. It's nothing new. Like there should be a rotation where if you're going to do this, you do it with like maybe the Brazilian League All-Stars, which we'd get smacked by the way.
But that would be actually interesting. See, when you say that, like I'd actually be interested in that.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that'd be interesting because it's different, right? We haven't seen it before. We've seen this 4 times. This is the 4th iteration of this. They lost last year 4-1. And, you know, I said this before, I don't care if we win or lose. It doesn't mean anything. Like there's no trophy. There's just trophy
memes
on the line.
Just memes. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I think, you know, it would be really cool to make this game meaningful, which I would love to know what you guys think about this. One way that they could dictate to make this game mean something is that the winner of this game hosts the next Leagues Cup.
Yeah, so I like that.
See, if Liga MX wins, that means in 2026 they would host Leagues Cup. And if MLS wins, they host it in 2026.
And I also think it's good experience for the players to play in Mexico. Like, I think always for a lot of these players to play in more hostile environments, not even just for the US, but for MLS teams in general, it's good experience. Like, I've always been for that. Like, and I know that we're not talking about the U.S. men's national team, but like one of the biggest struggles for the U.S. men's national team is they suck balls when they don't play on U.S. soil, but everything they host that's CONCACAF related, we have to be the ones to host it. We have to do, and I don't know, like me, like, I don't know. Like, I think it's good experience in general. Like, I would love if we played like if we did like an Asian all-star team, especially with how good the Saudi league is. Like, I think that'd be so much fun to watch. But again, I'm like, I love Asian football, but again, that's like another thing you could add to it. Like like even like an African, XI, like I think that would again be pretty cool. But yeah, that's just my opinion.
I mean, the whole argument is that Liga MX, if they had Leagues Cup in Mexico, no one would show up to the games.
Well, yeah,
but I don't think that's true. I think they would show up to the games. Now they're not going to show up if you got like some pointless MLS team playing another MLS team because no one's going to care there. But I do think that It would be popular. It'd be cool. I would love to see how MLS would look in the tournament like that. And that's how, like I said, that's how you give it legitimate. That's how you give it legitimacy. You have to beat them at on their soil too. But the counterpoint has always been the reason why it's here is because obviously, safety. Obviously, there's that yes,
Yeah.
but they also think that. But to their point, and look, I'm not saying I agree with this. I'm just saying that this is what they say. There are more Liga MX fans in the United States than there are MLS fans in Mexico. Hell, there's more Liga MX fans in the United States than there are MLS fans.
Yeah.
So they think that if they have it here, it's covering all the bases, right?
Yeah.
All the fans are gonna. I mean, we saw the Club World Cup. How many fans from different teams showed up to those games?
Yeah, a lot
from around the world, right?
A lot.
Was it? I'm trying to think of who the team was in Nashville. Was it Estrada? It was an African team.
Mamalu Sundown.
Maybe I don't remember exactly who it was, but there was an African team that played in Nashville, and the place was packed.
Oh, was it against Dortmund? Was it against?
I think it was against LAFC.
Oh, Tunis. Then it has to be.
It must have been Tunis. Yeah, it was Tunis. That's right. It was Tunis. Yes, but the stadium was packed with Tunis fans. Yeah. Offsides by Tristan Blackman.
I don't know, but like I love, as I said, to get to your point, like I love the All-Star games. I really, really did. But now I don't like it as much personally. Like I used to love one, like 2014 was one of my fondest All-Star games. I think 2012, 2014, because there were so many Sounders players. I think it was fun. Like, but like now it just like, do we really think Evander wants to be there? Because it's like reality is like Evander doesn't give a shit about playing against Liga MX teams. Like he's probably excited about playing against Sergio Ramos, but like a lot of these players, like they don't see the appeal to this. Like at least for like, let's say for players like Evander or like who else is there? Like Surridge, like playing against like Tottenham or Roma or Inter or AC Milan. Like there's an appeal to that because like those players look like watch those teams growing up. I would say that too.
Manchester United smacked us in 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
And like really, really bad. And then we lost to Chelsea, or we beat Chelsea in 2012. 2013, I remember I was working. I came home and
we got destroyed by Roma.
And we played Roma. And obviously Roma was never the biggest team in Italy, right? They've always been like top four, right?
That's when Bradley was there. Bradley started that game.
Yes, yes. Francisco Totti had, or maybe it was Florenzi. I can't remember who it was. It was either Florenzi or Totti. But either way, one of them had this absolutely incredible pass, dude. Like, I mean, put it on a platter.
Probably Totti.
And when I saw that, I think it was Totti, dude. He had an absolute dime. And I think it was actually Florenzi on the right side down the flank. But either way, he had this pass, and I just thought to myself, "Oh my God, we are so screwed. We are so cooked." And that's when I really started to have a negative feeling about the All-Star game because, like I said, that's not even the best team in Italy. That is a fringe top four team every year. That is not the team. That's not Juve. That's not Inter. It's not Milan. It's Roma. And I like Roma. No disrespect to Roma, by the way. I got a Roma accessory behind me. But that's when I started to really kind of have a sour taste in my mouth. Now, the Bayern Munich one in 2020 or 2014 against Portland, I wish I could have went to that. That was crazy.
Yeah, same here.
That was cool. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you. I can't even tell you the last time I had a good time watching an MLS All-Star game. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. If I'm not mistaken, I think the last time a Major League Soccer team beat a European team was against it was against Tottenham in 2015.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, they lost to Juve in 18, lost to Atletico 3-0, lost to Madrid, lost to Arsenal. I mean, yeah, we have not.
Yeah, I remember they tied Real Madrid. They tied Real Madrid.
Madrid and Juve went to penalties. Both of those games did. But we haven't won. We haven't won against a European giant. And dude, I'm telling you, I think the final nail in the coffin for me, that was a good attempt by Evander. But the final nail in the coffin for me for the All-Star game was the 5-0 loss to Arsenal in 2023, because that just made our league look so bad that one club just absolutely smacked us
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, as you said, like it's a big American thing. Like leagues across the across the US do this, like in other sports. So I don't have that kind of knowledge of like comparing it to those other ones, but I mean, you can already tell Messi didn't even show up. Like, I'm getting so tired of this like Messi fucking glazing, bro.
Well,
Like, I'm getting
let's
so
get in that second because
yeah.
I'll let you comment on what Fabi had said earlier. But before we do, guys, there's almost 70 of you in the chat. Make sure you like it down below. We're at 38 likes. Let's try to get to 100. I think we'll do this. We still have a long game. We still have 76 minutes left of this match. Pre-game will definitely probably be longer than the actual match itself. Make sure you like the stream down below. Also subscribe if you haven't already. 68 subscribers away from 8,000. Let's get to 8K before the end of July. I know we'll do it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. A lot of content on the horizon, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Okay, so go on. What were you going to say about Messi? Because obviously people have been up in arms. They've talked about, him not playing in this game. Should he be suspended? All of this stuff. Where do you stand on that?
I mean, like, it's like you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to know Messi doesn't care. Like, I mean, like, we don't even per se even care. Like, I just wish like MLS didn't glaze him so much. Like, oh, Messi's gonna be at the All-Star game, this and that, and then he just doesn't come. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just getting so tired of it. What was that?
I said holy pause, but go on.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I'm just kind of getting tired of it, and I'm not super shocked about it. I personally, I don't really care. Like, I loved MLS before Messi. I still like it to a degree during Messi's era. It's just like, it's just a bad look to MLS that the guy just didn't play though. Like, it is a bad look to the league, in my opinion. I think it looks bad. Like, there's a power curve with Messi. Like, it's Messi MLS. Like, but yeah, I mean, some of the stuff Fabi was talking about, I mean, everyone was talking about what Fabi was talking about. Like
legacy, okay, so Fabi had said that if LeBron James, which I know you're not a sports fan of outside of soccer, but like, who LeBron James is, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
If LeBron James didn't play in the All-Star game, that there would be backlash. But it's just, I don't think that's like that's comparing apples to oranges. Like, I don't think those are relevant.
But again, All-Star games are very big in those other leagues, though. Like in soccer, it's not really a thing.
Yeah, no, exactly. And also too, like, LeBron James has played in the NBA his whole entire career. Like, he is the league. Like, Messi is important, obviously, but like, it's just completely different.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's really comparable. And I don't think Messi, he said that this is going to make Messi like this villain, but Messi's already been the villain of the league.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, most people that are not Inter Miami fans are not Messi or like hardcore Messi glazers. Like I don't care much for Messi in the league. Like, but again, that's just me though. Like, I was never a big Messi Ronaldo guy personally. I thought the whole Speed thing was cool. Like, talking about something like that, I thought it was great. I just think it's unfortunate Speed didn't promote it more himself. Like, I wish MLS like told him like, hey, like, promote this and that. Like, I thought that was cool, but
not on Instagram, not on his Twitter account, nothing. So like, nobody would have even known he was there.
Yeah, exactly. Outside of like maybe a Bleacher Report, like 433 and stuff posted about it. I still think it's great because I definitely think because I don't care for the skills challenge whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it made it actually super interesting in my opinion. So yeah.
So Pulso Sports, my friend Nico says, come on, my guy. That's why it's more of an even match, a European club that plays together versus a group of players that never does is an uneven match and and doesn't reflect the talent of the league. But to my counter to that is, then why do you play it anyway? Then why do you play these European giants? If that's the case, why do you do it? Because like I said, it really is a lose-lose situation. Oh. You either beat them with your collection of your best players in the league. I was close. Was that Canales?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You either beat them with your best players in the league or you lose to them with your best players in the league. Either way, it doesn't help you out.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not here to solve the All-Star problem because there's bigger fish to fry in the MLS world. But like, as I said, I liked it when we played against, like, I think it would be cool if the All-Star team played against Bayer Leverkusen. Like, I think it would be interesting. Or even like the idea you made, like, it'd be kind of cool to play like a South America XI. So of the Brazilian league or the Argentinian league or the Saudi league, like those would kind of be interesting. Obviously, it would take a lot of money and, you know, a lot of work to make that happen. But I do think there is some interest there, like for that idea. But again, that's up to MLS. I have to make that decision. I personally don't care. Oh my God, they almost scored.
Oh, it was a good
I
save by
personally
Stuver.
don't care for MLS All-Star versus Liga MX All-Star.
No, I think that I mean, it just doesn't really matter. You know, like and like I said, if it was for who hosts Leagues Cup in 2026, then yes, this would matter. Like this would actually
that would be kind of cool. I like that too. That's a good idea.
Yeah, like that would have there would be ramifications for the winner or the loser of this game.
Yep.
Also, too, another proposal you could have is you could do East versus West, and the winner of that game hosts the MLS Cup. So if the East wins, then the Eastern Conference final winner will host MLS Cup.
Hire him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man. These are all good points. Like I like that. It's a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think that they're very short-sighted.
I know.
I don't think they're thinking long-term like that.
Money.
Kenny says, I think Liga MX will probably win. Yeah. I just, you know, to be fair, I don't think either one of these teams really care.
Yeah, I mean, again, but I like the All-Star game. I like the concept of it. I just don't think they execute it that well. Like, there's some good and then some bad, but it's like if you guys just put like maybe just like a little bit more effort, you could really maximize it.
You know who really benefited from an All-Star game in 2014? Well, he played for the USMNT, and then he played in the All-Star game against Bayern Munich. I think DeAndre Yedlin benefited because I think pretty shortly after that he got sold to Tottenham.
Yeah, he did. No. We friendly Tottenham in 2014. But yeah,
he wasn't in that Bayern game because I remember he had a nice a pretty nice move down the flank in the attack, and they're like, oh my God, this guy's a speed demon.
That's what I'm saying. Like I kind of see a little bit more of the upside. I get like there are those years where we get absolutely like clean slated against the Europe. Yeah, exactly. But there has been some benefits. Like I take the good with the bad there. But again, like I think the League MX idea was good for like 1 or 2 years, but like we've done this 4 times. Like,
yeah, it just kind of gets watered down, and it just doesn't mean as much if you do it every single time. And you know, I'll be curious. I think they'll probably do Liga MX again next year. I'd be surprised if they didn't, but it just, you know, even if Messi did play in this game, right? Which I do think it would make it a little bit more appealing for some average fans. But like I said, what does it matter? Like, who cares? He could have a hat trick. Why would it matter?
This is an idea. I remember when Al Nassr friendlied Inter Miami. A lot of people were talking about that. Like even I was kind of in like, oh, I'm kind of curious how this like goes down. And doesn't that kind of play into our point about like a Saudi League XI, like a Saudi League All-Star team? That's what I'm saying. Like all these ideas. Oh. Remember when PSG friendlied Al Nassr? Like everyone wanted to see how that game went down. And again, pointless game, but like, hey, like it tickles our pickle.
I just don't know why they haven't. Like I said, I just think that the European one is just, it makes the league look bad. It just makes the league look really bad. Because it's like I said, it's one league versus one team. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I would rather have a Premier League All-Star team versus MLS All-Star. Yes, we would get we would get killed. Obviously, we would lose probably like 15-0. But I would rather watch that than play a club team.
I 100% agree.
I would rather watch MLS. Yes, I'd rather watch MLS play La Liga All-Stars, Premier League All-Stars. I'd rather see them play any of those than play a club team. Like I just think the club version of this game is done. It's dead.
Yeah,
it has to be. It has to be because if you lose, I'm telling you, if you could, I just remember how bad it was when they lost to Arsenal 2 years ago. I just remember everybody just making fun of them. They're just like, how does a team beat the whole league?
Yeah. It wasn't great. Yeah, 5-0 was a bad result. Yeah.
Think about this. Your Sounders didn't even lose to PSG that bad, but the whole league lost to Arsenal 5-0? The whole league?
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Yeah. So, By the way, real quick, you obviously cover Asian football. I just want to get your opinion on this because I'm gonna do a video on it. How big of a deal do you think Son would be coming to LAFC?
Dude, I'd be really pumped about that. Like, Son, he runs the Asian market. Do I think he's the greatest Asian footballer of all time? I think your generic answer is yes. I would say no. If you know ball, it's definitely not. Like, he's never won a Champions League. He's never won he hasn't won any like major titles. At the end of the day, you got to win major titles. Like, Ji-Sung Park, in my opinion, like stats wise, yes, Son is better, but also Ji-Sung Park's a midfielder. Like, I would say him. You could even mention other players that have been close to winning Champions Leagues or have won other major accolades. But like, Son is still one of the greats. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's the greatest, but it's just like, I think it's such a big move for LAFC because it's not like Son's not bad. He's not prime Son, but he's still a relatively good player. Like, he would start for a mid to low, like he would be a big player for a mid to lower tier team in the Premier League. But this is just huge for MLS. Like, it's huge for the Asian market. It's huge for LAFC. Like, I remember when they brought in a South Korean player at right back. What was it, 2020? And it was huge. Like, the Korean fans in LA were going
galvanized
crazy
behind the team.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're literally buying the Asian market if you buy Son. Like, it's kind of like when the Inter Miami got Messi, you bought like the whole neutral Messi market. You bring Son in, LAFC, you just won the whole, for sure, South Korea market. Like, every South Korea
but he's popular in China and Japan. I feel like Son is like a guy that he's popular all over Asia.
No. But what I'm saying is, LAFC will now be recognized as the MLS team for everyone in South Korea, on top of all the other countries in Asia. Like, I'm just telling you, I guarantee you, like, everyone's gonna be like, if you go now on the street to any South Korean and be like, hey, name me an MLS team, LAFC will be the first team they now mention.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he'd be huge for the league. He'd be huge for LAFC. And players like Son, I think, well, they have to do more than just this. This is a part of the equation, right? Yeah. They have to sign names like Son who could get the global market or a piece of the global market to get people to want to watch games, right? And you got to look at Son as like a test sample, right? You're giving this introduction to these fans who don't watch the league, and you're hoping that they like what they see and they'll want to stick around and watch it long term, or watch at least him and the rest of his MLS career. I would say if Son signs with MLS, I know I just had him at number 3, Rodrigo De Paul, but if Son signs with MLS, I'd say it'd be the 3rd biggest signing in MLS history, just because of his.
I would say he's bigger than Rodrigo De Paul going to Inter Miami. I know this is a little bit.
No, he is. I agree. I agree.
Oh, okay, cool.
I had Rodrigo De Paul at 3 because of his age, and obviously, he could still stay in Europe. If he comes here, Son, he'd be the 3rd biggest signing in MLS history, only behind Beckham and Messi.
No question. No question.
And he's probably, like you said, he's definitely the most talented Asian player of all time. Maybe not the best, but he's the most talented, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so. He's up there.
Oh, Denis Bouanga.
I thought they scored too.
But he's definitely the most popular.
Yes.
By far.
Yes, no question.
How many times you see a Tottenham Sun jersey?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I see it everywhere. Even on the East Coast, I see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be a great signing. Hopefully they can get that done. Fabrizio had said that and Paul Tenorio had said
it's initial talks right now, right?
Yeah, but they want to get it done now. Like his contract ends in 26, but they want him over here now.
But it's because it looks like he's not in Ange Postecoglou's plans for next season, which is a bit bizarre. And I think maybe Son gets it. But again, you're not getting an over the hill player. Like, Son had a decent year last year. At the end of the day, he helped break the duck for Tottenham to win a trophy. He was the captain to help get subside that curse for Tottenham. Like, that's huge props. But again, he's not the player of like 3-4 years ago per se, but it's still really good.
That was a top player in the world though. Like, that was exactly. That was probably like a top 20 player in the world.
Yeah.
He's not that.
He was winning golden boots back then. Yeah.
He's probably a top, I don't know, 100 player in the world right now.
Dude, I'm mad jealous of LAFC getting him. Like, dude, like, I thought Bouanga scored.
He's auditioning for Club America tonight.
He is. Good cross goal.
Nice. Sam Surridge?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. Sam Surridge, MLS.
LAFC.
LAFC. I'm used to saying that. MLS All-Star score first, 1-0 on Liga MX. Sam Surridge, man, he's having a great year. 18 goals, tied for the Golden Boot with Lionel Messi. Yeah, I do wonder because Son plays on the left side.
He can also play
wonder,
striker.
Say what?
He can also play striker.
Yeah, but I think he can, and in MLS he definitely can, but I think he's better on the left side. He's always.
I think he's good in both spots. I genuinely think, because think about it, when he would a really good version of Son was when it was under Mourinho and it was Son and Kane up top together. That's when he won his Golden Boot.
And Dele Alli behind?
No, Dele Alli was
he already
long.
Gone?
He was like, yeah, it was the beginning to the end. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll say this though. I think they're gonna sign Thomas Muller as well. Like that could happen. And I mean, yeah, I agree.
Dude, but how cutthroat is LAFC? I love it. Like they're just like, like Giroud wasn't a flop. Like if ball, like it's just like they weren't playing to his strengths. But they're like, we're gonna cut our losses on him. It may be a bit of an L, but we're gonna bounce back and get someone better. Like I mad respect that. Like mad respect for LAFC on that.
Yeah,
like,
they do have a new coach, by the way.
Who, Tottenham? Yeah, they do. Yeah. They have Thomas Frank. Sorry, that's my bad. Yeah, my bad.
I still don't think that Son could be in his plans because he is 33 years old. They're probably want to do a rebuild because things haven't went well. So is he on? He might be offside. It looks like his arm might be offside.
Just allow it.
There should just be all fouls, no cards in the game. Just let them do whatever they want. No
Studs
offsides.
Up, 2 foot, scissor tackles.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But if they sign Muller, I definitely don't think he's going to play up top because Muller will probably play up top. So they'll probably have him on the left side. Which, I mean, look, my point is that if you had to play him on the left or the right, you're going to play him on the left. Sure. And Denis Bouanga plays on the left.
I still think Son's good with both feet, though. This one's a very you can accommodate. I think this is onside. I don't know why there's taking 1,000 reviews.
It looks close.
I think it's good.
Imagine if you guys had a striker like Sam Surridge.
Yeah, I'd cry.
Right? Yeah.
I know.
Well, listen, I appreciate you for stopping by. You think MLS is going to win this game?
I think it'll go to penalties, and Obed Vargas will score the winning PK to win the All-Stars.
Obed Vargas. Okay.
Obed Vargas. He's going to chip. He's going to chip Malagone. He's going to shush the crowd, and then he's going to be like, "See you later, Sounders. I'm too good for us now."
Is he auditioning right now?
Well, he's not going to any Mexican clubs, but because Mexican clubs all want him, he wants to go to Europe. So,
well, before I let you go, where can the people find you out on X, Instagram, and
just
on
Rave
YouTube?
Green TV, folks? And probably no one wants to follow me personally, but just Rave Green TV. Just go to Rave Green TV.
I appreciate my friend. Yeah, make sure you go check out his stuff. I'm a frequent guest on his channel. So make sure you check him out. Have a great night. Enjoy your pickup game. I'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Talk to you soon, Will. Thanks for having me. Bye-bye, everybody. Yep.
Okay, it looks like it's a goal. Guys, listen, I have been streaming for 1:20. I got to do a quick restroom break. Just real quick. I'll be back in like 60 seconds. All right, we're back. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, no, I didn't leave the building. Just had to do a quick restroom break, drink a lot of water pre-game. Oh, nice pass to Chucky Lozano. That's a little bit too wide from Denis Bouanga. Oh, off the crossbar. Sam Surridge. Oh, not off the deflection. The wine's kicking in, an MLS team scored. Let's go. Is it wine or is it wine with or without the H? We do it without the H, but hey, man, do it with the H. So I saw this tweet. Someone texted me. I guess this is kind of bad, but I'm going to read this to you guys, see what you think. MLS Commissioner Don Garber says Apple TV's MLS Season Pass viewership is averaging 120,000 unique viewers per match in 2025. And that is an almost 50% increase over 2024. What do you guys think about that? He says that the average unique viewership is 120,000 viewers per match in 2025. Do you believe this? I don't believe this. Xavier says Inter Miami 1 million, every other team 10K. I heard from somebody that one game last year got like 1,000 views. Tony says I got it free through T-Mobile. That's another thing too. A lot of people got this for free this year because of T-Mobile. Got some substitutions. Dane St. Clair is in. I didn't see who else had subbed in. They normally do 30-minute rotations, 30 minutes. So they'll play 15 minutes this half, 15 minutes the next half, and then the final subs will happen in the 60th minute. Angus, a member of the channel, says, I have recently heard that viewership this year has dramatically fallen on Apple TV. Yeah, I just don't think, we've all said that being behind a paywall, it was never a good idea for an infant league like this. They should have taken exposure over money. They needed to get exposure. They need people to have eyes and be able to watch this team. That's what they need more than anything else. I got mine for free on T-Mobile. Now, listen, I will say there are probably a lot more people watching this year just because of the free. There probably are more people watching because it's free from T-Mobile. DraftKings had a $5 bet that allowed you to get the whole season for free. But man, these numbers are, even if they were true, that's still really, really bad. So, okay. So 120,000 views. This is not sustainable. I'm telling you guys, based on what I've seen, Vinyl says I'll have to Google that so I can stop hate tweeting them less Apple TV Weekly. Okay. So, I think that Apple TV is going to pull out of this deal in 2028. I think, let's see, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah. So 2028, I think they're going to pull out. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. Oh, I think they're going to pull out of this deal because they're not 120,000 viewers is terrible. Even if that's the real numbers, I think it's actually lower than that. But it's just a terrible deal. It's a terrible deal. They're not getting their money's worth. They're going to pull out, and MLS is going to have to find a new home, and they need to go to someone who's going to give them exposure. This is bad. And like you guys have said, a lot of you have gotten this for free. The damn app was free if you had T-Mobile, and it was free if you made a $5 bet. You got $100 value for $5, and people are still not watching it. Jane says a lot of that was from the $5 bet. Yeah, exactly. Mr. says what he didn't tell you is most of the viewers are T-Mobile customers, but even if they are, that's still really bad. Like 120,000 unique viewers. I mean, that's really, really bad. Really bad. That's really, really bad. Like the Premier League's getting like 700,000, 800,000 views on a regular game. Diego Rossi, come on, look for Rossi, looking for Rossi. Oh, Baribo. No Name says, don't forget piracy sites. Back when I watched all Champions League matches on Hezgol, when the Swiss TV stopped showing Champions League, they now do show UCL again, thankfully, and it's free. Well, that's good, at least. Cute Kenny says, I have T-Mobile and I didn't even know it was free. Yeah, it is free. I don't know if it's still free, but it was free. Xavier says the problem is the Apple TV shows suck. Other than Severance, all the shows are so poor, even Ted Lasso. Now, I will agree that a lot of the shows are not as good as you think they would be, especially with the production level and the investment. I think that MLS still needs to consider going to Netflix, offering, say, hey, listen, we will come to Netflix, pay us $100 million or $110 million a year. We will produce our own games. Do it. Give us a 2-year trial period to see what kind of viewership we could get, and I know it would pay off a lot better. Like it'd be so much better. Like so much better. So much better. Daniel says, will be a bad look for MLS if their reigning champ that is mathematically out of the playoffs loses the Campeones Cup to Toluca. Wasn't a good showing for MLS at the Club World Cup, Miami, so that didn't help much. Yeah, I mean, I think that the Club World Cup, the PSG loss was really, really bad. And the Seattle Sounders didn't do, like, they had a really hard group, obviously. And LAFC was the worst of all three, but it wasn't good enough. I agree with that. And yeah, I would expect Toluca to beat the Galaxy unless Ricky Puig is back. Then maybe they have a chance, but I'd expect them to lose. Danny says, I need more U.S. soccer or MLS to play in Las Vegas. I'm so annoyed. Judgmental Deity says, we already pay enough just to watch the Premier League, the Champions League, Serie A, etc. Unless you're a diehard, there is no reason to sub to another niche service. I agree. It is all about the exposure. It's all about the exposure. Kenny says, I remember as a little boy watching MLS on TV. Good times. Yeah, those days it's been 3 years. Mr. says it needs to be on something like Netflix with no paywall. I mean, could you imagine if you're on Netflix and then you see Inter Miami playing Orlando City, first page, right there. People are going to click on it. Even if they only watch it for a minute, they're still going to click on it and check it out. Tony says, will a lot of soccer fans have subscription fatigue? They do. I mean, it's like you have to subscribe to damn near everything these days to be able to watch anything. Angus says, in my opinion, local teams ought to have free coverage. Good way to grow the league. Yeah, I think the local coverage for teams was really bad for getting rid of that was bad for teams. Daniel says, we need MLS moves at Leagues Cup matches. Nah, I don't know about that. No. I do hope that they, and I think I've DM'd you about this, Daniel. I do hope that they have the tournament in Mexico next year. I really hope they have it in Mexico sooner than later. It would make it way more interesting to see what would happen in that scenario. Uwe says, honestly, just go back to ESPN Fox and yeah, not Telemundo, but what is it called? It was on Unimas and Univision at one time. Xavier says, what do you think about the zone? Free for games, but a little money for the extras. You know, I actually like the zone. I thought that they did a really good job for the Club World Cup. But I did watch some games on TNT though. I did watch some games on TNT as well. In my opinion, the MLS showing at the Club World Cup was pretty okay. Seattle did well. LAFC sucked. Miami overperformed. Yeah, they lost to PSG 4-0. But what did we expect? PSG did the same thing with Real Madrid. Kenny says, even though I hate the Sounders, I feel bad for them at the Club World Cup. I mean, their group was brutal. The group was brutal. Uwe says, thoughts on the Cosmos coming back? Yeah, so they're coming back to the USL, very historic team. Kind of wish, a part of me kind of wishes that the Cosmos were in MLS, like the Red Bulls would change their name to the Cosmos, but that's not going to happen. But obviously a historic team, right? A very historic team in U.S. soccer history. I may be in the minority, but the zone commentators were not very good. You know, what's funny is a lot of the zone commentators were MLS commentators. Big fan of Auckland FC now. Too much money in the U.S. for that to happen. All the profits go straight to MLS, Liga MX, and they don't share any of it with CONCACAF. Makes me wonder how they got CONCACAF to sanction it as a legit tournament. I agree with that. I think they probably did it because they threatened them. They probably said, hey, listen, either you sanction this or we'll just pull out of the CONCACAF Champions League altogether, and this will be our CONCACAF Champions League. So they probably threatened them, honestly. Nick Smith says everything about the zone sucked except for it being free. Yeah, it would freeze a lot. I did have some issues with it. That's why I tried to watch on TNT instead of that's why I watched it on TNT instead of DAZN a lot of times. And when I watched on DAZN on the television, on the TV, it kept like popping up like those ads, and it was just so annoying. The zone commentators were mostly German, and they were pretty good, actually, better than the Bundesliga commentators. I'm wondering if it was regional, like based on who your commentators were, because I don't really remember any German commentators when I was watching. I think maybe it was regional. By the way, games 1-0. MLS still over Liga MX. Game's been, it's not been too bad so far. It's been all right. It's not been terrible. 4 minutes of added time, which is an atrocity. I don't know why there's any added time in an All-Star game, but hey, 4 minutes of added time. Angus says during the Gold Cup, the Fox app froze up a lot. Yeah, the apps normally have a lot of issues. Mick says Messi will leave to Arabia. 20 million a year is too low for his standards. As someone that can't see anything completely blind, I thought the commentators were actually pretty decent. They can't see anything completely. You're completely blind? Uwe says we had some English dudes. Yeah, there was a guy from Toronto who used to do the Toronto FC games who was very prominent doing that as well. Ernest Aguilar says camera was always missing plays or not showing what happened, especially when LAFC played and Ordaz got hurt. Camera wasn't even on the play. Do you think an MLS Hawaii team could work? Probably not, because they'd have to fly several hours, no matter who they're playing. So probably not. Q Kenny says, I think that Telemundo and Univision have the same ownership but won't admit it. They might. I just wish that MLS wasn't behind a paywall. I just think they got really greedy. And I think this is bad advisement from Don Garber to go to it's bad advisement for Don Garber to go to Apple TV. It's very bad. While soccer must be hard to keep up visually impaired respect. Alan says, yes, I'm completely blind. I've been that way since birth. Wow. Okay. Welcome, Alan. Yeah, for sure. Maximus says, when is Greenland joining CONCACAF? I don't know. We'll have to see. That's to be determined. Daniel says Telemundo is NBC and Univision is owned by Televisa. Okay. And Telemundo, I want to say Univision was the one who had MLS rights before. Which one has Liga MX? Is it both? Does Telemundo and Univision both have Liga MX, or is it just one of the two? Andrew says the zone wasn't great, but at least the audio was synced up with the game, unlike Fox coverage, where the commentators are 2 seconds ahead of the action. Yeah, that would always mess with me. I agree 100%. When there would be a whistle in the game, I'd be like, why? Who's blowing the whistle? Why are they not stopping? And then they would stop like 2 seconds later, like you said. So it really did screw with me quite a bit. Cosmo's owner will enjoy his away games with less than 100 in attendance. Alan says, but I'm actually studying to be sports broadcaster. I want to be a talk show host. I would also love to broadcast soccer games. Well, I hope you will do it, my friend. You will do it. I think you definitely will do it. Do I think that Detroit would be a good MLS team? Yeah, I mean, I think that could work. That was a possibility a couple of years ago. Dan Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and somebody in Detroit were trying to get a team in Detroit. I don't remember what happened with it, but it fell through. Daniel says both own rights to league, but for certain teams. Okay. So they don't do like a league-wide thing. Thank you for all the kind messages, guys. I really appreciate it. Ernest Aguilar says, wow, Alan, great. You still enjoy soccer. Yeah, 100%. Final Horror says, Detroit rocks. Nick, settle down. You're obviously not built for it. Uwe says, we need a San Francisco MLS team. San Jose doesn't count. I think that whoever buys, by the way, it's halftime. It's 1-0. MLS All-Stars over Liga MX in the first half. Okay first half, nothing crazy. I think that when the San Jose Earthquakes are sold, because they're up for sale right now, I think that they should move them to San Francisco. Okay, so now that the first half is over, I want you guys to rate that first half on a entertainment scale, 1 through 10. 1, you're falling asleep, you're going home, you turn the lights off, you're going to bed, absolutely terrible. 1 being that pregame show, absolutely terrible, right? 1, terrible, 10, good, entertaining. How would you rate the first half, 1 through 10, on an entertainment level? Michel says 7.5 out of 10. Ernest Aguilar says he's a 5. Daniel says he's a solid 7. Maximus is a 2. Zen is a 6.5. Kenny's a 4. Butterdog's a 1 just because the pre-show it left a bad taste in your mouth, right? Silver Teeth says he's a 5. Ernest Aguilar says 10 for Bouanga. Nick Smith's a 5. Final Horror is a 6. Alan says, honestly, as far as entertainment is concerned, only reason I'm watching this is because the stream is not for this. I wouldn't care. Oh, appreciate it, my friend. I really appreciate that. Xavier says he's a 3. Uwe says he's a 6. No Name says just watching the stream, not the game. Okay. I think that was probably like a 5. I mean, it's okay. It's not been bad. It's not been great. I can't remember if it was Shyon or Fabian that I told this to, but it feels like they're just kind of, they're just kind of going through the motions. Nothing crazy. I'm not blown away, but it's not been absolutely terrible. Now, there's been a couple of chances that Denis Bouanga should have finished, which has been the story of his season with LAFC. But I mean, yeah, it's just fun to watch it with you guys. Now, if the game had started on time, it probably would have been higher, honestly. Stream 9.5. Got a dock you for the bathroom break. Hey, man, I had to do it. Had to do it. Chat's at 10. William Mayer says it's believed that U.S. has produced good soccer goalkeepers because of the sports culture where using the hands is common, something that gives an advantage when playing in goal. Do you agree, Will? I do. That's interesting. I don't know if that's exactly what it is. I just think we've been very lucky to I think goalkeepers is just something we've always developed really well because it's a lot harder for us we've always had the athletes, but you don't need as much. Well, now you do, but back in the day, you didn't need as much technical ability to be a good goalkeeper. You just had to be a good shot stopper, right? And you didn't have to be as good with your feet as you do now. I just think that that's probably the one position where you don't have to rely as much on technical ability. So that's why we have to. That's why I think we produce so many good goalkeepers historically, but recently we haven't done that. Recently, we've really had a slump for goalkeepers produced. Mr. says the game now, is that a -7 or are you just saying it's a 7? Pre-show is a 1. Okay. I think you're saying the game's a 7 in the show. The pre-show is a 1. I agree. Uwe says, thoughts on Sacramento getting their MLS bid overlooked for San Diego. I am not surprised because I don't know if Sacramento was willing to pay $500 million. I don't know if they were willing to pay $500 million to get into the league. And I think San Diego is probably a better market, but I do think that Sacramento will eventually get a club. I think they will. William Mayer says, thank you for the answer. No problem. No problem at all. Jesus says, you expect Liga MX to go all out in the second half? Probably not. I mean, I don't think that they've looked bad, but they just really kind of look unpolished is the best way I would describe it. Like, just not that pace by Denis Bouanga was crazy. Though, I ain't gonna lie. He should have finished some of these chances. The pace is insane. I think Liga MX has looked okay, but not as good as they should have. Noble Wolf says, what do you think about the league calendar possibly switching after the World Cup? Will MLS be ready to compete for views with other leagues going on at the same time? What leagues are you talking about? Are you talking about other soccer leagues? Or are you talking about sports leagues in America? Because I want to be very careful when I respond to this because I think that's an important detail. Xavier says you have to pick one game to watch between LAFC, LA Galaxy, and San Diego. Which two you picking? So pick a game between each other. Oh, El Tráfico all day. LAFC and LA Galaxy. The game never disappoints. Ever disappoints. Uwe says, also, I saw a video that allegedly stated MLS is looking to do divisions like the NFL. If that happens, I'm switching to the USL. And that would be a mistake. That would be a mistake. That would be a huge, huge mistake if they did that. Let's see. I want to read this quote too. Fabi shared this earlier. Don Garber on MLS being more transparent about Apple numbers. So we and Apple have just been trying to figure it all out. I know it's frustrating for you now, for those who are looking for more information. But we and Apple believe we need to start sharing more information so that you all can start looking at and what does it really mean. Yeah. Yeah, so the numbers are cooked. Numbers are absolutely cooked. No Name says, I hope San Jose doesn't get moved because I, in general, don't support that. It's weird, and they should just create a new club. That's the main thing, honestly, which I don't like about U.S. sports leagues. I mean, losing your team could be absolutely devastating, right? I mean, that obviously is a big deal. So I agree with that. I definitely agree that would suck to lose your team, you know? I don't have an MLS team. You guys know this, but I have other sports teams. And if I lost those teams, it would be devastating. All right, listen, I need some caffeine. I'm going to go get me a Coke Zero. I'll be back in 20 seconds. Need a little bit of a pick-me-up, stream is almost, let's see, we 2 hours in now? Yeah, almost 2 hours in. We still have another half to go, right? And I got to record a video after this. Got to do the sun video. Before I go to get my drink, make sure you hit the like button down below. We're at 48 likes. We're 52 away from 100. We are 67 subscribers away from 8K. Guys, we've had the best summer in MLS Moves history. Best month in MLS Moves history. We've gained almost 2,000 subscribers this summer. Almost 2,000 subs this summer. We have blown up bigger than I ever could have imagined. We're going to hit 8K by the end of the summer, or by the end of this month. We're going to hit 8K, and we're going to hit 10K by the end of the year. We're definitely going to do that, and it's all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate that. So I want to give you guys a shout out for supporting what I do, enjoying the content, watching the live stream watch-alongs with me and helping this league grow for better or worse. Really appreciate that. So make sure you like the stream down below and subscribe to the channel. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right, we are back. Amisel says, I only subscribe because it helps US soccer. Oh, is that the only way? No. Oh, you're talking about the channel, or are you talking about to MLS? Uwe says, hopefully you get 10K, my boy. Channels like you help grow the game in the States. Yeah, we've been very fortunate. This has been a very great summer for the growth. And they're showing Messi. I don't know why they're showing him. He's not even in the game. Yeah, but yes, it's been a great summer. It's been a fun summer. It's been a busy summer. I am going to do Leagues Cup. I didn't know if I was going to, just because it's been a lot. You know, we had the Gold Cup, we had the Club World Cup going on at the same time. So it's been very exhausting, but I'm going to do Leagues Cup. I think people actually want to see it. I appreciate that, my friend. Hopefully you enjoyed the content at least. But I think that it's going to be somewhat exciting because all the players who are going to be playing, like possibly Son, like Rodrigo De Paul, I think there's potential for this tournament, and that's why I'm interested to see what happens. And I am going to cover as many games as I possibly can cover. I'm going to do some watch-alongs. I'm going to do some post-game recaps. And like I said, I think Liga MX is going to win it this year. I think that this is, especially because it's 18 teams. It's not going to be 30 versus 18. It's going to be 18 versus 18. So I think Liga MX has a better chance. Xavier says, I like it when you chat with Alexi and the Battered Heron guys. Yeah, I do too. I like Alexi's a friend, and I consider Daniel, Granada, and Chris friends of mine as well. So yes, they're both very, very good. Both channels are very, very good. Ernest is saying, why is San Jose always getting the short end of the stick? If they are moved, would it be 2 times? Houston got a team after purchase of San Jose and moved to Houston. Yes, this would be the second time they're moved, but it's just because they're not really in San Jose. They're really far out. They're like close to the airport. They're just not in a very good spot, honestly. And honestly, you have to think about the market, right? Yes, San Jose is a big market, but you want to be in a spot where, like, San Francisco, I think, deserves an MLS team. Like San Francisco FC, could you imagine like a cool logo, kind of like you don't want to copy Golden State's, but like Golden State's, like the Golden Gate Bridge. Like, could you imagine that on a logo? How cool that would look on a kit? That'd look insane. Q Kenny says, I hate to say it. San Jose don't start winning trophies, they'll definitely move. Anu says, I've decided to not renew my season tickets for Atlanta United because of the mediocrity of the league in general. There needs to be a better roster rules, and Garber refuses to do so. Well, hey, that is the best way to voice your opinion, is do it with your wallet. 100%. That's the way to do it. Ernest says, I honestly like the stadium. Been there a few times. San Jose. PayPal Park, I think is what it's called. Yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It's very far away. No Name says, in my opinion, teams should never get moved. It's just stupid. The clubs represents the city, and by moving them, you take away the most important part of their identity, their city. I agree with that I think we got to get to a point where they don't do it. Like Vancouver Whitecaps is a good example. They're up for sale right now, and I don't want to see them get sold. It's not that I don't want to see them get sold. I don't want to see them move, is what I'm saying. There's been speculation they're going to be sold and they're going to be moved to Vegas possibly. I hope that doesn't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. I want to see them stay in Vancouver because I think there's a lot of fans there. I think it's a good market. I don't want to see their team taken away from them. Uwe says they already got a cool logo. Forget which league they're in. Which team are we talking about? The league really isn't that mediocre. I mean, it's like they don't promote parity, they promote mediocrity. Like they don't want teams to be really good. They want teams to stay the same or get worse to make things even. So like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's just not as good as it could be. That's the complaint people have. Wow, from Whitecaps to the Vegas Nightcaps. That's funny. That's funny. That'd be funny if that was their name, the Nightcaps. Because they are, what are they? Are they the Golden Knights or the Black Knights? Las Vegas, their hockey team. Ube says San Francisco FC has a minor league team, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think maybe they do. MLS is trying to succeed in a unique and difficult landscape that no other countries face. Spending isn't a magic switch. It's not, but the problem is that you have other leagues around the world who are more popular here than MLS is. Liga MX, the Premier League, all these other leagues that have more viewers in our country. And the reason they do it, well, Liga MX is because of history. The Premier League is because of quality. So I think that you can't fake history, but you can improve quality. And I do think if they did that, it would make a difference. Danny Phantom says, Will, I love your channel and also the straight red card with Brett and Derek. The other day, I found it funny when Alexi was talking and Brett and Derek were both drinking at the same time. Yes, that I love all those guys. All those guys are my friends. All of them have been very good to me. That was a great episode the other day. Very good episode. Yeah, they're always drinking and smoking while they're doing their podcast or their live show. But yes, it's always entertaining. It's always fun. And Alexi, say what you will about Alexi, but he gives people the time of day, right? Like he went on their show for 2 hours. He came on my show he did two episodes with me for an hour and 10 minutes. He's a good dude. He never complains. He never thinks he's too good for anybody. That's why I hold him in such high regards. And obviously Derek and Brett are great guys too. Very good guys. Xavier says, Will, are you saying how the LA Galaxy is doing this season is a feature and not a bug? Yeah, it's a feat. Yeah, exactly. That's the reason why they're doing bad. It's self-created. They want good teams to take a step back to give a bad team a chance to be good. Especially if you win. Okay. So how long has this halftime show been? Holy shit. Like the pregame was already is the halftime show competing with the pregame? I mean, this isn't going to end until midnight. Uwe says you should collab with Deadball TV. We have a mutual friend in TAC. That could be something interesting. Maybe I could do something with him, but I think he covers more. International ball instead of, club ball. But that's something we could do definitely in the near future. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Seems like a good guy. Daniel says MLS have safety nets for the owners to stay profitable. Sadly, hence nothing will be done. But to the salary cap, although a fourth DP spot wouldn't hurt. Yeah, but that's still band-aiding it. You need something bigger than that. I think the league is Atlanta. Let's see. The league is Michelle. Atlanta was shattering attendance records for years, and that it brought Nashville and Charlotte into the mix. You cannot fill seats with mediocrity. You also can't fill seats with not just mediocrity, but complacency with no accountability. Like you have to. There's guys that have done bad for the team, and that like Ryan Dyla should be fired, but he still has a job. Xavier says the only reason a halftime show should be this long is if Shakira is shaking her head. Right? Alan Wiley says, yeah, the two shows are competing to see which one can make you lose the most brain cells. No Name says MLS has to implement a rule that a team can never be removed from their city. It will also help them be taken more seriously. Yeah, I really seriously doubt that's going to happen. It's not going to be a common thing anymore. I think that they've been more strategic on what cities they want their teams to be in. So I doubt that's going to happen again. Like there's going to be a team move. I'm not saying that Vancouver is for sure going to move to Vegas. I don't think they are. But I'm just saying that I think that if there was a team that would move there, it might be them. It might be them. Ernest Aguilar says the Galaxy problem is also self-inflicted, though. How are you producing or finding new young talent? Also, too, it's bad that Ricky Puig is so good that your team completely falls apart. They're the worst team in the league. Your coach is bad. Just so much stuff. Zen says, feel bad for Atlanta this season. Not sure what's not clicking. Agree that Ronnie should be fired. I mean, I think the coach is bad. They made bad signings. I'm not trying to be I told you so guy, but you can't be signing a Champions League, not Champions League. That would be actually an improvement. You can't sign a championship quality striker for $30 million who doesn't even dominate the league he's playing in. You can't sign a championship striker for $30 million. That was a terrible signing. They should have never done that. Should have never done that. And they could have had Josh Sargent for like $15 million. He would have been way better. Kenny says, Will, you should do a collab with Football Asada. All definitely will argue. I've never heard of Football Asada. Maybe I have. Maybe it rings a bell, but I'm not really sure who that is. Cucho almost had no goals in the championship. Yeah, but he didn't have as many goals. He almost had no goals in the championship, but he was playing out of position. They had him as a winger in the championship, and they had him as a winger at Watford before he came to Major League Soccer when he was playing in the Premier League. So I think they had him playing out of position. That was a reason why he struggled. No Name says, man, this wine bottle I drank hits at least that much that I comment too much. I'm going to cook some spaghetti and comment later again, but I'm still going to listen to the stream. Well, hopefully you're having a good dinner and enjoying the wine. Hopefully you're, having a good all-star game experience. S27 says you can struggle in the championship and dominate MLS, but he's not doing that. He's not doing that. And it's not necessarily about that. It's about the price tag. Like $30 million. Like, is any player in the championship worth $30 million? And here's the thing. The guy had never scored a goal in the first division of a top 10 league in the world. he had never scored a goal in the first division of a top 10 league in the world. Like the only first division he ever played in was the Swiss league. Kenny says Football Asada mostly talk about Liga MX, the Mexico national team, and I think they hate MLS. Oh, Baribo scores 2-0. Ty Baribo was doing really well for the Union in the beginning of the season. He's really cooled down, but he scores here. He's had a decent season. They signed a Uruguayan striker as a DP, and they haven't even really played him that much because of how good he's been playing. Ty Baribo, the Israeli international. Maybe he could possibly be traded. Maybe. Jesus Galvin says Football Asada is basically English-speaking Liga MX fans, and I think they're chill. Well, I definitely should reach out to him then. Maybe I could hit them up. Maybe I could do a preview with them for the MLS for Leagues Cup. If they even cover it. Do they have a Twitter account? Because I'll reach out to them if they do. Mr. Mister says Football Asada or Mexican focused channel. I think the guys are Mexican American. Yeah, I need to hit them up. Need to hit them up. Maybe I could do something like before Leagues Cup with them. I reached out to Hurt Gomez because, me and Hurt Gomez, we had been talking since 2020. Like for several years. And then he randomly unfollowed me one day. And he didn't respond to any of my DMs. So I'm not exactly sure what went wrong there. But I tried to get Hurt Gomez on to maybe talk some Liga MX and MLS. Wasn't able to get in touch with him. So it is what it is. But this Football Asada is something I'll definitely look into. If they have a Twitter account, I'll DM them. I don't really, or an Instagram. I might try to DM them and see what's going and see if they might want to link up. But I don't know. Football Asada. Okay, here we go. Well, they haven't posted since 2023, so that's not a good sign. Oh, did you DM it to me? I checked their Twitter. It said they hadn't posted in like 2 years. S27 says Herc has been acting weird lately, very corporate. I've not been liking his takes recently as much as I did before. I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm not sure, but we definitely went back and forth for years, man. Not just like one-off conversations. It was years of DMs, and he just went cold turkey. They have an IG and I found their YouTube channel, but I don't know how I'd reach out to them on YouTube. So I'll see if I can reach out to them on Instagram. But I'll definitely see if I could do a preview with them for Leagues Cup. I think that'd be interesting. They're active on Insta. Yeah, I'll DM them after this game. Anu says, yes, Atlanta vastly overpaid for Latte Lot. It made me question how this can blow up in our face. Yeah, I mean, and Kevin Danke was a guy that I was very excited about for Cincinnati. They paid $13 million less than him. He was the Golden Boot winner of the Belgian league, and he's been way better. Way better. Also, too, what about Anders Dreyer? Anders Dreyer, they only paid $5 million for him at San Diego FC. He's been incredible. He's been incredible for San Diego FC. He's the reason why they've been good this year. I wonder if there'll be any big trades in the league, right? I wonder if Ty Baribo could be traded. I made a video yesterday talking about MLS teams, like 6 MLS teams that need to have a big summer transfer window to truly compete for the MLS Cup. I mean, there's a couple of teams that are just like one piece away that could really change the trajectory of their season. And there's a lot of teams that need to have a big summer transfer window. I just hope they do. You can't sit on your hands. You can't wait till the next year, the next window. You got to be proactive. You got to make moves if you want to win. And I just hope that there's teams that just don't do nothing, like just sit on their hands and do nothing. I mean, you guys saw what Montreal said, right? Montreal put out this apology letter saying how bad they've been, and they apologized to their fans. And it's like, dude, it's all your fault. You have not been proactive. You have no true DPs on your team. You take reject DPs. You take castaway DPs from other teams. You don't push the league forward. You haven't made a good signing since Didier Drogba in 2015. Ube says, I still follow Herc. I think he posted the video of MLS following the NFL model. I haven't watched his stuff in a while. Michael says he would probably cost a lot. His wife is pregnant and he's pretty comfortable in Philly. Yeah, I think that's probably unlikely that he would leave, but they did buy that Uruguayan striker, and I think that for the right price, they could sell him or trade him. Mr. says Latte Lot just hasn't worked. Ideally said when he signed, he needs a minimum of 20 goals or it's a failure. And I don't think he's even going to score 15 goals at this pace. And the team's been bad anyways. The team's been bad anyway, so it really doesn't even matter. I mean, the team's just been really bad. Maybe if they were winning, you could forgive that, but they've just been really, really bad. So the Leagues Cup starts in 8 days. July 31st will be the first game. So it'll be on a Wednesday, on a Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Leagues Cup starts. And like I said, we're gonna do some post games. If the game's exciting, I'm probably gonna do a post game. Like there's gonna be a lot of content. It's gonna be very similar to how we covered Club World Cup, but it's gonna be more strategic. I can't do a post game on every game. I can't watch every single game. I'm probably gonna watch every Inter Miami game because Messi, Rodrigo De Paul, a lot of interest there. I'll be selective on the other games just because we'll see who's competing and who's doing well. But I think that the fact that Messi is going to play in it makes it more exciting than last year. Last year's Leagues Cup was just a dud. Nobody played in it. It was uninspiring. We had Copa America and Euros 2024 fatigue. So I just think that they had a lot going against it in 2024. But I think it'll be better this year, at least a little bit. What's it? Damiani definitely isn't Baribo, but hopefully he picks it up. Mikel Ua is also running out of contract in Philly. Yeah, Julian Carranza, you guys miss him. He was so good. Baribo has obviously been pretty good, but Julian Carranza was so good for the Union. That was a good trade for them. Miami had to get rid of him. You guys picked him up. You got like a $6 or $7 million player on the cheap. Very, very good signing for Philadelphia. S27 says, I think it starts Tuesday with Columbus playing. Is it Tuesday? Let's see. Maybe it is. No, you're right. It is the 29th. I don't know why I thought the 31st. Maybe it's August 31st. Yeah. So it starts Tuesday. So I'm probably gonna have to get this put out pretty soon. This preview. I need to reach out to them soon. Maybe I could drop something on Sunday. Daniel says Liga MX sides that are current powerhouses are Toluca, Cruz Azul, and Club America. Just so you have an idea who to watch in the Leagues Cup. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch Club America. I think that they are probably the best team I think they're probably the best team in the entire region. Right? Maybe Miami will give them a run for their money after they sign Rodrigo De Paul, maybe a couple other guys. But I'd say probably Club America would edge them out right now. Angus says St. Louis signing Division II players in Germany and in Scandinavia do not seem to be working. I hope that their signings get more ambitious. Me too. I hope they do too. What's funny is Marcel, I think it's Marcel Hartel, if I'm not mistaken. he's a DP, and everybody was losing their mind over him, saying, "Oh my God, this is a good signing. You don't know ball. He's great." And I think he's been kind of mid. I don't think he's been that good for St. Louis. I think he's been a disappointment. I don't think he's been bad, but I don't think he's been DP quality player. I think he's actually been disappointing. Michael says, yes, absolutely. Philly loves a bargain bin shopping. They do. They are definitely they're definitely a money ball team. Mr. says the only thing I can remember from last year's Leagues Cup was Cucho being an absolute boss. Yeah, honestly, that's the only thing I remember is that it was LAFC versus Columbus and Steve Shrundle lost another final. But yes, that's pretty much all I remember. I remember that Liga MX teams really didn't care about it. They kind of just like, hey, we're here. We have to be here. We have no other choice. It is what it is. Allen says MLS doesn't realize that if you have a team consistently at the top, only improving instead of having to take a step back, it will be better for your league internationally. I agree. Yeah, you guys need we need a super team in MLS because it's a team everybody can hate and it's a team everybody can chase. And honestly, it's good for the league. It is good for the league. The Premier League has like 5 or 6 winners, but that season almost 10 years ago when Leicester City shocked the world and won the Premier League was incredible because of how unprecedented that was and how unexpected that was. That's what makes it fun. Let's see. Myciel says Liga MX fans are not happy about this game. S27 says, how do the teams qualify for Leagues Cup? So it was the top 30 or top 18 teams from 2024 qualified for this. The top 18 teams from last year qualified for it. So I think essentially it was the playoff teams. Every playoff team last year qualified for it this year, except for someone got subbed out for San Diego. I can't remember who it was, but someone I think got subbed out for San Diego FC. Anu says, I had the same problem with Angus. Atlanta signing players in the Division 2 of several leagues wasn't good at all. I think he meant to put sad. Alan says, I'll be interested to see how Pachuca does. They're off to a good start domestically. They did win the champions. They won the Champions Cup in 2024. They beat down the Columbus Crew. S27 says if there was an open system of Pro Rel, you would have a couple super teams, probably Miami and LAFC, with the players they would draw. I think that there's a chance they could. Anu says, sadly, South America is off limits due to Europe paying top dollar. As far as talents, I mean, you could if you wanted to, but like you're not going to be able to get like the top end talent, but you could get like a Gabriel Peck, you could get a Miguel Miron, you could get a Ezequiel Barco, a Thiago Almada. You could get, players like that. Still really good. Michael says, any update news on Thomas Muller coming over yet? I haven't heard anything new, but I think that possibly he still could come here. But I know that he's been playing around the idea with retirement. Oh, what a beautiful goal. Mora, the 16-year-old. What a beautiful goal by the 16-year-old Mora. That kid's going to be a star. He's going to be an absolute star for not just Liga MX, but for the Mexican national team. 16 years old. Beautiful goal. Mora. And here's the thing. He's going to be a thorn in our side for a long time. I'm curious to see when he leaves Liga MX and where he'll go. But what a beautiful finish. Let's watch the replay on this. Clinical finish. See, that's the thing. MLS doesn't have a 16-year-old like that playing in the league that's good. It was deflected, but still, still a good finish. MLS doesn't have a 16-year-old talent like that. We don't have a player like that. Kevin Sullivan isn't that guy. We don't have a homegrown talent that's playing at this level. I mean, both MLS and Liga MX don't really care about this game. No, they don't. Angus says that's very true. I knew Atlanta and St. Louis seemed to be in the same. Well, Atlanta's definitely spending more money now. They definitely, I mean, they spent like 60 million in the last year. Dalton says, any thoughts on MLS teams only starting 3 Americans per team on average? Well, they're going with quality over quantity. Like they're trying to play the best players possible and making the Americans own it. I don't believe in giving spots to players who don't earn it. Like that's not going to make the league better. I think that American players have to earn minutes. Play against these guys, play better than them, and you will play. Mr. says Almada just signed for Atletico Madrid. He did. So they signed Cardoso and they signed Almada, which obviously paves the path for Rodrigo de Paul to come to Inter Miami. Michael says Cavan isn't that good yet. He's not, and I don't know if he will be. No Name says, who do you think would be the MLS's super teams? I think it would be Miami, New York City, LAFC, probably Chicago, especially because of their the cities they're in and because of the club's names FC. I think Miami would be, I think LAFC would be, I think New York City would be, and I think that I actually think Cincinnati would be really good too. I think they'd build a really good team because they've shown that they're willing to spend. Atlanta United probably would spend too. It's pretty much the teams who would be willing to spend would be good, like really good. Mr. says Mora is going to be a star. I could see him going somewhere like Benfica or maybe Betis. Like I think he could go there right now for sure. And I think his ceiling is, maybe a top 10 team in the world. Maybe he could play well enough to play for an Atletico or play for a Chelsea or play for an Arsenal maybe one day. He's got a lot of potential. Q Kenny says Club America will probably get Mora and ruin his career. I mean, that has been a problem for Liga MX teams is not letting their talent leave. Could see it happening though. Alan says, hey guys, I'm probably going to go to bed this soon. This has been really fun watching the stream, and I will definitely be around for the Leagues Cup games. Alan, I appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for joining us, and hope to see you again soon. Michael says, Cavan will be 16 soon. He is good, but he gets bodied off the ball all the time. I mean, if we're being honest, it's Mora over Sullivan. It's not even close. I'm honestly surprised they didn't try to force Cavan Sullivan to play here, but I think he's actually training with Man City right now, training with the academy team and training with maybe the first team, maybe a little bit. But I'm surprised that they didn't try to shoehorn him into this game and to play. Dalton says the J League has rules about playing domestic players, and Japan is light years ahead of us in developing quality players. Yeah, they definitely are, but I still think that you shouldn't give playing time to somebody. I think you should earn it. But I wouldn't be opposed to there being levels to this, right? To where there is a team in Major League Soccer that is pretty much all domestic players. Like, don't force teams to play only domestic players, but there could be a domestic based team, like where it's mostly just Americans playing on it. I could see something like that. Mr. says he could if he continues to develop. And it's funny because Mora is better than Cavan Sullivan right now. He's 16. Cavan's 15, and he's already signed with Manchester City. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Kenny says Mora has potential, but Tevesi has ruined Liga MX and other players' careers. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right, by the way. Michael says, yeah, Philly once again, and to get an other All-Star here, it would be Quinn, not Cavan. No question about it. Yeah, Quinn's had a pretty good 2020 season or 2025 season. Is Messi? No, Messi is not playing. Andrew says, I feel bad for Kevin. He was prematurely anointed the next Pulisic and the USMNT's next big star. Felt like he's just being set up for failure. Also, too, when you're told the man from day one, I think it can really hurt your not just your confidence, but it can also hurt your development. S27 says, Will, what do you think about the New England Revolution? I think that they are very lackluster. They made some bad signings. I think Caleb Porter is really bad. I think a lot of their moves they made haven't panned out. Like Leo Campana hasn't been nearly as good for them as what he was for Inter Miami. And I think it's time to move on. I mistyped it. I meant to say Televisa. Okay, I got you. No, you're good. You're good. Just want to make sure I was pronouncing right. Michael says, it's a lot to ask a 15-year-old. They haven't done him any favors. Started him versus Nashville season was a really bad idea. Yeah, I just think they're going to end up Freddie doing him. And I just don't think I agree. I just don't think he's going to live up to the expectations they put on him. Because here's the thing, like, yes, he is a kid, right? And you have to take that in consideration, but when you're anointed as the next big prospect for a nation, right? You should be at least showing some glimpses of specialty in MLS games, right? He's 15. He's not 12 or 13. He's 15. If you're heralded as the next big prospect for the U.S. men's national team, you have got to show something when you're playing. And I don't think he's looked good at all for Philadelphia. I think he's looked very underwhelming. So I don't see it. I don't know. I think that this is like fabricated hype. I just don't see it. Which MLS coach has impressed you the most in 2025? Probably Bradley Carnell with Philadelphia. I've always thought he was a good coach. I think he got a raw deal with St. Louis City SC, and then he's proven that he can win with less in with Philadelphia. Win with less is like they're not spending a lot of money, kind of like what they were doing with Philadelphia with St. Louis. I think he's done a really good job with Philadelphia. Mr. Mister says, I watched the Arsenal versus AC Milan game earlier. Max Doman is going to be some player. He's only 15 and can handle himself against men already. Seriously, remember the name. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like when you see someone like him playing in the game like that against quality team, if Kevin Sullivan really is that guy at 15 years old, he should be showing you flashes. Like I'm not saying he should be out there scoring 20 goals and 15 assists in the season. I'm just saying if he's that dude, he should be quality. He should be showing you flashes of brilliance in these games. I just haven't seen it at all. Like I haven't seen anything that makes me think he's that guy. No, I'm not saying he has to score a goal or anything. I'm just saying like you need to see like that specialty, that special ability. I just haven't seen that it factor from him against MLS. I haven't even seen a flash of it. I think he's looked. I mean, look, he's young. I understand, but like, I just think the expectations on him are not. I just don't think they're realistic. See if MLS can score again here. Jane says sometimes a player plays up to their level at a certain age. Also, Freddie do at 14 made grown players look like fools. Don't make it seem like he was a fraud. No, I don't think Freddie Adu was a fraud, but like what you just said, he was looking good at 14. He was looking good against players. Like Kevin hasn't really shown that. I at least at the MLS level, he hasn't. Oh my God, if this game goes to penalties, I don't know. I might crash out if this goes to penalties. This would be the longest like stream of all time if it goes to penalties. Like we're already 2.5 hours in. We still have 16 minutes. 2-1, 15 minutes left plus added time. I'll tell you what, back to your question, Zen, about, coaches who impressed me. I think there's been more coaches in MLS in 2025 that have been unimpressive. Like, there's a lot of, you just see the coaching deficiency in Major League Soccer and how there's a lot of coaches who just aren't good enough for this level and have been coaching here. Some of these guys are just recycles, like they just keep going to other teams and doing the same thing. Like Nico Estevez at Austin. He's not good. He wasn't good at Dallas. He really hasn't been good at Austin either. They just recycle bad coaches over and over and over again. Nick says, I've literally seen him do nothing. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I don't see it. I don't see it. Michael says, yeah, Quinn didn't start to take off until 2025. Cavan has some time to cook. He does. And I'm not saying he can't be a good pro. I'm just saying what they're calling him is not what he really is, at least so far. Kenny says Televisa has also owned Mexican national team, which they shouldn't. Like the rights to them, or are you talking about the influence? Zen says, I'm happy with BJ for my Nashville SC. Yeah, he's been really good for Nashville SC. He has been that's a good shout too. I think Bradley Carnell is obviously up there, but I think BJ Callahan has been very good for Nashville SC, and I think he's going to be the USMNT coach eventually, sooner than later. That's just my opinion. We'll see what happens, but I think he's going to be the USMNT coach sooner rather than later. I think maybe after 2026. Angus says Olaf Melberg was a horrible hire. I do not see how he could get rehired. No, he won't be rehired in MLS because he doesn't really have any ties. This is probably his one and only opportunity. But he should have never been hired in the first place. I knew that was a disaster hiring because he had a terrible record, and I think either Norway or Sweden. He was terrible. I knew that was never going to work. No Name says, I finished cooking my spaghetti. Now I'm drunk having spaghetti to eat while getting to watch your stream about USA football at 5:22 a.m. in Switzerland. I'm living the best life right now. Keep it up. Man, you are living the best life. Spaghetti at 5 a.m. with some wine. That's a hell of a night. Or hell of a morning. Thoughts on Ronnie Dyla? Dyla is very overrated. I don't think he's a good manager. I think Atlanta United should fire him. I think they should hire someone else like Jim Curtin. And I think that he has his trajectory has just collapsed like a rock. Oh, what a beautiful pass. Oh. Kenny says Televisa only has the TV rights before they own the whole team. Thoughts on Mexico's 16-year-old wonder kid, Gilberto Mora? He is a stud. I just said a minute ago that I think he's better than Kevin Sullivan. Like, I don't think it's even close. I think that he is. I don't know why more people aren't talking about how good he is. And hopefully he doesn't stay in Liga MX too long. Hopefully he gets to go to Europe and test the waters and improve. And I think he is really special, man. Like, I don't know if he could play for a top club right now, a top 10 team in the world like Atletico or a Chelsea or a Arsenal right now, but I think he could one day, like maybe in a couple years. But someone had pointed out that he's good enough to play for Benfica, good enough to play for Ajax, he's good enough to play for Porto. Team like that, he's definitely good enough. He's really good, like really, really good. Probably the best prospect you guys have had in a very long time. Mr. says, from the little I've seen of Cavan, he strikes me as someone who might become a decent player, but he doesn't strike me as another Pulisic. I could be wrong, but I don't see it right now. I don't see the special ability. You see flashes of it. If like what we've seen from Mora right now, right? We saw this from Mora against against the USMNT when they played Mexico. We saw this in this game, that beautiful goal he had. Like, you see flashes. Like, when you're young, you're not going to be consistently doing it, but you see flashes of the special ability. And I just never have seen that with Cavan. Oh, okay. Brian White scores. As a Diego Luna with the assist up. So MLS is up 3-1. MLS up 3-1. It looks like we won't have penalties. Thank God. We'll actually be able to go to bed at a somewhat decent time. And I appreciate you guys tuning in with me. 2 hours and 30 minutes into a stream. It was never supposed to be this long. So I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and watching the stream if you're still here. Michael says Cavan is decent, late sub. He adds some energy, not a starter. Yeah. And honestly, if Carlos Hill, was he the one who scored? Was he the one that had the assist? I thought it was Diego Luna. Honestly, if Cavan was playing like Quinn was this season at his age, then I would be like, okay, I see it. You know, that's he's special, but he's not. He's not even playing. I mean, obviously he's not playing as good as his brother, but like I'm not even seeing that. No Name says, I'm watching your stream and not the game itself. How is the game itself? Is it at least entertaining? And how is the attendance? Attendance looks like it's probably maybe 60% filled capacity. It looks like there's a lot of Miami shirts in the stands. Miami kits or shirts. Looks like some people are starting to leave. And it is 3-1. It's been an okay game. It's not been crazy, but it's not been bad. It's been all right. It's better than last year's. Kenny says Diego Luna is the future of the United States. Maybe. I'd be curious to see when he leaves because apparently RSL want to get like 15 mil for him. So I'd be very curious to see what Diego Luna goes for when RSL are finally ready to sell him. And would anybody pay 15 million for Diego Luna? That's an interesting question. Would they pay 15 million for Diego Luna? I don't know. Could Diego Luna be an MLS lifer? Could someone in MLS pay 15 million for him? You know what's crazy is Gilberto Mora is only worth 3 million euros according to Transfer Market. You know, take it for what it is. Obviously, it's just a point of reference. It's nothing. Don't take it as a gospel. But 3 million. I mean, that someone would be absolutely getting a steal for him. Someone would be absolutely getting a steal for him. Surprised McGlynn didn't get a call up for this. I think some of the USMNT guys who did play a little bit more, now obviously Luna's an exception, but I think some of these guys wanted to take this as a break. Take this time, you know, to get a break. Zen says, love Diego Luna, but I don't see any team buying him for 15 mil. I agree with that. Steven says, at a certain point, qualifying what a player's age, it becomes disrespectful. Yamal is young, but he's just a good player. No need to qualify it with his age. Well, I agree with that, but also they're heralding him as like the wonder kid, like he's going to be the special player, and I just don't see that yet. Angus says the attendance would probably be higher if this match is during the weekend. Yeah, having it on a Wednesday is really weird, but they didn't want to take away from the MLS games. They didn't want to give up a weekend because that's several games versus just this one match. You're losing out on revenue if you only have you take off the whole weekend for this this game. Kenny says, I wish Diego Luna didn't get the hate from Mexican American fans. They should be proud of him, right? Yeah. Because he himself is a Mexican American, right? Mr. says, the last really special youngster I saw was Jude Bellingham. He made the England squad at 17 and made me think, wow. Ethan Nwanri looks good too. Yeah. No Name says, I know I'm drunk and probably talk bullshit, but I would love for CONMEBOL and CONCACAF to make a tournament together like Champions League and the best teams for right now. Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely want to see Copa Libertadores have MLS and Liga MX teams. That's the most potential for both federations. Mr. says, obviously, apart from Lamine Yamal, he's not normal. Lamine Yamal is incredible. I think Lamine Yamal, even though people get mad at me for saying this, I think Lamine Yamal could be as good, if not better than Messi. Could be, not will be, could be. The difference. I'm not saying he's going to be or he is. I said he could be. I mean, the fact he's 17 years old and he's already won the Euros. He won Euros 2024. There's a chance he could win the World Cup in 26. They're probably the favorites heading into 2026. Now, striker's an issue for Spain, but I think Spain has to be the favorites right now to win the World Cup in 2026. And if Lamine Yamal wins the World Cup at 17, 18 years old, he'll probably win multiple World Cups. He'll probably win 2 or 3. And he'll probably he might win the Ballon d'Or this year. Now, it's a long shot. Maybe Dembele will end up winning it, but I think Lamine Yamal has a chance of winning the Ballon d'Or. And if he wins the Ballon d'Or and he wins the World Cup at 18, he's already done more than Mbappe's done. Mbappe's never won the Ballon d'Or. I'm telling you, I think Lamine Yamal could be, who knows? Duvet says, there's no way we'll ever see a player like Messi in our lifetime. Same was said about Mbappe. Yeah, but here's the thing. Lamine Yamal is different, man. Like, he's different. I'm telling you, he's different. Now, I don't think he'll ever be as an efficient of a goal scorer as Messi, but he's good in a different way. I was never big on Mbappe. I always thought Mbappe was kind of a fraud. I think he peaked way too early, and he just kind of lost the desire. And plus, he was playing for a team he didn't love. Like, PSG is not his team. I just think that he peaked way too early, got complacent, never pushed himself. He moved to Madrid way too late in his career. I just think he's overrated. I think Mbappe, I don't think he's anywhere. People were saying he's going to be the best player in French history. He's not better than Thierry Henry. So I think Lamine Yamal is going to win several Ballon d'Ors. Like, who is going to maybe Doué will probably win some, I'd say, because he's really good too. Doué is probably the second of all the young players in the world. Doué is probably the second best young player in the world. Lamine Yamal is number one. Doué and Lamine Yamal are going to be the two youngsters fighting for not just global recognition, but just like the guys. Like, they're going to be the next modern, I think, Ronaldo, Messi, Doué, and Lamine Yamal. Oh, the screen went black. Did this do it for you guys too? Did the screen just go black? Have they given up too? I still have the score bug. I still see 3-1. Okay, game's back on. Here we go. There we go. Mbappe a fraud? Look at his stats this past season. Yeah, no, his stats are good, but what has he won? He's won the World Cup. That's it. Like, he's never won a Champions League. He leaves PSG after years, and then they win it, and then the team that always wins the league's or Champions League loses it. Like, they don't win it. I just think I'm not saying he's bad. I just think he peaked too early. I think he's overrated. Le Plus says he's done way more than Henry for France. It's not even a debate in France. Really? I mean, they both won World Cups. I don't understand. What has he done? What has he done more of? Isn't Henry's like what, number 2 all time in scoring, which I know that Mbappe will probably end up breaking. But I mean, Henry is incredible. I think Henry's a better player than Mbappe. Mr. says 2030 World Cup in Spain. No way Spain don't win that. Yeah, they might win it in 26 and 2030. Michael Pelly says, if Mbappe gets a Champions Cup, I could see him coming to MLS before 30. He just doesn't seem happy in Europe. That's what I'm going to be curious about, is who's going to be the first player in their prime to come to Major League Soccer? Who's going to be the first guy in their prime to make the jump to Major League Soccer? Henry was not a starter in 1998. He wasn't a starter, but he played a lot of games. He still played a lot. He was still an important piece of that team. And to many people's points, young players didn't really play that many minutes back then. Like, it was very rare to see a 19 or 20-year-old player starting for their national team, especially in big games. But he was still important. He was still very important in 98. I mean, he had 10 appearances. He had 3 goals. Apple stream is terrible. We're not getting our money's worth. Uwe says, I'm still waiting to see a better passer than Xavi. Xavi is, I think he's probably the best midfielder of all time. Handball, Liga MX. All right, let's see how much added time we have. It's 3-1 MLS over at Liga MX. Hopefully there's not too much added time because there really hasn't been that much to happen. Three minutes of added time? Everybody's already left. Everybody's leaving. There's barely anybody in the stands. I'm not gonna lie to you. When you're down 3-1, it's crazy, and especially an exhibition game, it's crazy to have any added time. Honestly, it's absolutely crazy. Uwe says the 2010 generation of players were crazy. I missed it there. Listen, the super teams in the 2010s were in like. I wish we had that type of quality team. The super teams back then, the Barças, the Madrids, the Juves. I mean, the super teams back then were unheard of. Like, the talent is crazy. The 2010s Barca team would win Champions League like every other year. But I think they're starting to form that quality of team again. I think that's starting to happen. We'll see. MLS is going to parade this around, I bet. Yeah, it means nothing. Like I said, win or lose, this result means nothing. It's just a friendly exhibition match. It doesn't mean anything. Hopefully, MLS fans don't brag about this because it really doesn't matter. It doesn't show anything. It's a friendly game with a bunch of random players who don't play with each other on a week-to-week basis, and it's in the U.S. Hopefully, they don't take it too seriously. Not just the teams, the players, that generation of strikers, man, we are in a striker drought compared to then. Yeah, I mean, who would you even say the best striker in the world is right now? Would you say it's Martinez, or would you say it's Harry Kane still? Holland? Yeah, I mean, we're definitely in a striker drought for sure. Abhishek says next year we take on Barcelona. Maybe that'd be. I mean, we'll see. That would do some numbers, because if Messi would probably play in that one. If they played Barca, he probably would play in that. Angus says All-Star games really don't amount to anything. I would not have watched this if you did not cover it. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. I mean, I was surprised. I did a poll and I asked people if they wanted me to do a watch along, and a lot of people said yes. I was actually very surprised. I was very surprised. I didn't think anyone would have interest in this. All right, that's the game. MLS has beaten Liga MX 3-1 in the 2025 MLS All-Star game. We went almost 3 hours. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this with me. I enjoyed watching it with you. Even though the pregame was bad, the halftime show was too long, and the game was an exhibition, it's always fun to watch the game with you guys. So I appreciate you for stopping by and watching it with me. MLS wins. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you like the stream down below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, 67 subscribers away from 8,000. Let's hit that number by the end of July. Only have 8 days left. Let's try to hit 8K. Also, be on the lookout. Sun to LAFC video dropping tomorrow at some time. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the afternoon or if it's going to be at noon Eastern, or it's going to be later in the day, but just be on the lookout for that. I will be dropping a Sun to LAFC video, so be on the lookout for that. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you guys have a great remainder of the rest of your week. And Leagues Cup will be starting soon. Till next time, guys, I will see you all soon.